$600 up for grabs. 3 days of action proceeding. It is the Paradise Cup 5 here, the 5th edition of everybody's, at least my favorite, Crew Battles tournament. And joining me here for day one with his Paradise Cup debut, as is so many players in this tournament, it's Uncle Xan. How are you doing, Xan? Double elimination has just begun. By the end of today, we're going to go from like 90 teams all the way down to our top 16. Everybody gets an equal chance to make it, but only the very, very best are going to make it through. And by the end of the day, we're going to see teams like A-ranked teams not even make it in. That should tell you how competitive this tournament is, or even the top echelon of RLCS, those that make top 52, may not be here tomorrow.
Absolutely. I'm more than excited to be here with you. $600 is a hell of a lot of money. It's going to be, absolutely life-changing to whoever can win that. I believe you're telling me this is supposed to be over, the course of a couple of different tournaments, but now these players get to, play for a much larger prize pool. So that's going to be going into every single player's mind as they kind of compete for this. Everybody's going to be hungry and excited to, reach the grand finals. It's going to be a very tough, mountain to climb to get there, but we're excited to see that journey, Sporty.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a journey, all right. Again, I mentioned today we had like 90-something, we had like almost 90 teams. How many teams do you have signed up? We had 78 teams, sorry, about 80 teams signing up into this tournament. So 78 teams have signed up into this thing. By the way, just for all of you who want to know how big that is compared to what we expected, the biggest tournament as ever was the last Paradise Cup 4. We had 34 teams in that tournament, so we have more than doubled the output from last tournament. To be fair, we also doubled the prize pool for this tournament. So you double the prize pool, you double the teams. It seems like it makes a lot of sense, but yeah, there's some good teams here today. There are some solid teams, and I would show you the double elimination bracket if I actually could show you it. Our bracket only extends the last couple of rounds in double elimination, so we're going to show you that, as we get there. But all you guys need to know basically is today we're all streaming best of 5 crew battles action, and from where we're starting, you need to win 3 matches. If you're going to win 3 matches straight, you're through to the next round. You're through to the to day 2. You're through to the next part of the tournament. If you lose, not too bad. It's double elimination. You got another chance. But if you lose again, your tournament's over. And for most teams, the tournament's going to end here today. So big day here. Of course, Crew Battles itself, such a fun format here, Xan. 3s, 2s, and 1s all in it. While I get everything set up on our side and get our match ready, you want to tell people kind of how the format for Crew Battles is going to extend into a best of 3?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, as crew battles are, already well known for being, it is a battle of 3s, 2s, and 1s. So you are not just seeing one format of play. All of them are going to be in effect. If you are in the first game, though, it will be a 3v3 match. All 3 players who are playing in that matchup will have to be there and accounted for that first game. And after that, if you get to a game 2, we'll be going to a 2v2 or a 1v1, depending on who decides or what the teams decide to play first. And then game 3, when we get there, we'll be looking to go back to 3v3. And if we get to the splendid game 4, we'll be going to whatever that game mode was not chosen in the previous game 2. So if it was a 2v2, we'll be going to a 1v1. And if it was a 1v1, we'll be going to a 2v2. And in game 5, in the blessed case that we get there, we'll be going back to 3v3 to get all players back on the pitch and see who's the better matchup.
As well, we'll see who matches up better compared to each other. Our first match starts in hopefully not too long from now. It will be YouTube Shorts FC versus KiroJkapsBandit and Bandit. YouTube Shorts, the number 6 seed in this tournament. KiroJkapsBandit, the number 59 seed. So there's a pretty big rank disparity between these teams. YouTube Shorts, by the way, is one of the few, one of the X-ranked teams in our tournament here, full of players from the Spacebound Cowboys. This is actually 2/3 of the Spacebound Cowboys roster. With Beastie and Restaurant, they've now added in Alex as well, replacing Lunar Brawler, who normally would be on that team for this one here. And what's interesting coming into matches like these is, you get the question of, what are we going to see here? What kind of, do you like our team name? Yes, I do, Resh. This is a team name I've gone by in the past, by the way, but, one of the fun things about this format is, of course, getting to see kind of how these players divide themselves up. And with the YouTube Shorts team, I know a lot of these players, I just don't know how good they are necessarily in 2s and 1s. So it'll be really interesting to see how they split up, because what's also interesting, a little complication, whoever plays in the 2s mode can't play in 1s and vice versa. So game 2 is going to be really important, because you got to be smart about who you pick for when, so that when you go to the other game mode, you are going to put in theory, your best performance forward.
So it'll be interesting to decide, who they decide to go for. In the Spacebound Cowboys roster, we're saying that they're not exactly the full force roster of SBC. They have Alex filling in for their normal typical third. So Rush Mode and Beastie, I mean, I don't think it's a crazy thing to say. I think we'll probably see them take the pitch for 2v2. And when we get to the 1v1, I have a feeling they'll probably be relying very heavily on Alex, as he was a top 32, RLCS contender, I believe, in the EU circuit. Both of these, all three of these players have had, their time in the light in the RLCS circuit. But I think Alex will definitely have some slack to pick up, I think. And I think that might be why they picked him up.
Yeah, you said it as well. I mean, part of it is also just based on the fact this is a team full of Europeans as well, so they also know Alex. They've competed with him before. Alex plays in Europe,
Sure.
but Beast and Ashram have also played in Europe. They play in North America now, but they have played in Europe. So part of it is also just knowledge. They know each other. I mean, that's the thing about these top teams. They may be seeded, but when it comes down to who wins, it really comes down to, chemistry by the end of this thing, because the mode they display the most is threes. So in theory, you have a good threes team, you're going to win this thing no matter how bad you are at ones and twos. Obviously, that's not what these teams are going for, but that is something to think about here, is the fact that you should really heavily rely on your ability in threes, because that's the mode that will likely be the difference maker here at the end of this tournament. I mean, I'm not one to tell you how this tournament's going to proceed, but in theory, it's going to be threes that wins this thing, so that's something to focus on as well. But moments away from getting things going. We're moments away from this match starting up here. JKaps and company, a pretty fun and pretty interesting team to talk about, because they're one of the few teams in this tournament that's really on the low rank side. I think they're rank H. They're the only rank H team in this tournament, so see how we do here as well. But we're going to wait a little bit. We're going to keep talking as well. We're trying to see if there's going to be a forfeit or not this round. Have a forfeit here. We'll wait a little bit longer and see what's happening. But it's the unfortunate situation. We'll have some. We might have forfeits. But
it does give us a little bit of a chance to go over some of the other teams in the bracket here, as we have some huge talent here. This is, like you said, 78 teams, and I would say a good solid half of them are above the rank of B rank.
That's SSL, if you're wondering. That's the highest rank in the game. So
yeah, I mean, that's a huge a huge pool of talent that's going to be competing for the $600 here, and all of them could take it. I mean, it's really it's kind of up in the air. All of them are very, very good. It depends on what kind of a day they're all having. It's interesting though. I don't know exactly who's going to take it. Like I said, anyone could. So make sure you keep watching for sure.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about it. About this format is that it's a format that, while freeze is the dominant mode.
Oh, we're getting them in.
They are joining.
They're joining. Look at that. We're actually getting a matchup here between the rank H KiroJkapsBandit and our rank X YouTube Shorts roster. 2/3 of SBC going against a rank H team. It's going to be a very interesting matchup.
I think this is going to be a good match for all of you out there who maybe have never seen a Creel Battles format before, to understand what makes this game mode interesting. And we're going to start in game one. Now, reminder, this is the 3v3 mode, so everybody gets to play normally here. What's also interesting about this mode, although it doesn't really matter too much for these teams, as an early goal for Kiro, is that whoever the players are playing in game one, it doesn't matter for these teams because they don't have subs, but whoever plays in game one cannot play in the rest of this series. So that's what we're getting to see here, an early goal from Kiro, who also subsequently left the lobby for a moment there. But it's KiroJkapsBandit, the underdogs in this matchup, looking to get a start. Reminder, loser of this match, not out. They play in the lower bracket here, but that lower bracket, round 1 and round 2, which they'd be going to lower round 1, that's a best of 3. It's a much shorter series, a much scarier series. You don't want to go into a short series if you don't have to.
Look at that. Alex going to be the first one for the for this roster, YouTube Shorts roster, to get things started for him on offense. Gets a nice pass from Beastie and puts it away in the bottom corner, unable to save it on the orange side of the field. Unfortunately, not a easy save to make, but it is going to be punished there, as now the orange team is heading their way on the attack. We'll see if KiroJkapsBandit, that's a mouthful. I think I'm going to go with KJB. Maybe is the proper
well, if you go with KJB, it's boring.
If
you go with KJB, it's boring because everybody goes with the name like that in threes. If you've been around the scene long enough to know that everybody just names their team after the first initial of their team name, that's boring. That's why they extended it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we'll have to figure out
except that they want to be unique here, Xan. I know. Stop trying to be so conformist with team names here.
I know. I'm terrible. But now Alex and Reshma getting things started for him. Gets a nice little musty around to the center of the field, but JKaps is there to get things started down the field for his team. See if they can actually put something together against a defense that's got such a brick wall foundation here to it. Beastie now down to Resh mode. That looked beautiful, but unfortunately Resh mode opting instead to head towards the corner, as Jkaps did have the save there. Not looking to get beat out, but definitely looking to stay in control as they keep this aggressive posturing on the other side of the field. That one rolls into the midfield, but saved by Bandito. We'll see if Beastie has something here. He does get the flip reset, and he gets it to Resh mode. Unfortunately, not a shot opportunity there.
Yeah, will be Resh. Bumped away. It's cleared by Jkaps and in for Alex. He will take it to the side wall instead. The Romanian on the ball. He's got the Englishman up in the air. Beastie is waiting. He's floating. He's shooting, and he's shooting it well wide. Resharam, one of the only French player on this team, one of very few, if any, others in this tournament. There are a few others, but he's by far the best in this tournament, the most well-known. All of these players have had some competitive experience in Europe. Resh and Beastie, both part of the Spacebound Cowboys now in North America, both moved for collegiate regions. They're now trying to make their name in North America. I mean, they've already made their name in North America. SBC, a team that's consistently made the top 32, has been battling for a consistent top 16 spot, much like a lot of teams in this tournament. I mean, NTX Esports, Team Silenced, both of them are in this tournament. Both those teams in very similar situations, where it's teams that have made runs in the top 32, trying to be consistent top 16 teams. For today, though, the top 16 is only three more wins away here for the YouTube Shorts in the series. It's Alex who gets his second a brace in Game 1. And for YouTube Shorts, it may not be the most convincing game from them. I don't think they're really trying to put in all too much effort, but it's consistent, and really, they're just trying to get the job done, get further in the series, and in their minds, get themselves to the later rounds, which are going to be a whole lot tougher against teams that they might see again in the top 16.
You know, that's actually really interesting. That shot was it was an odd one from Alex, because I was watching it from his perspective. He was there in ball cam, and you couldn't quite see the pass coming out, and you could tell that the comms were definitely on point, because Alex pre-jumped that and trusted that the pass was coming, even though he definitely couldn't quite see where it was coming from. That's one of those plays that you're going to see that at the higher level, is you get the comms and the trust in your teammates, the chemistry is going to come out, and those team plays are going to be so much easier. Resh mode now going in with the mechanical play. He gets the double reset, and unfortunately not able to tuck that one into bed. Now Alex going for a psycho. They're just playing with these folks here. Their mechanical plays, trying to get some clips here out on main broadcast, as that's a pass down to Resh mode, but that's a very awkward touch. It's so weird, but it goes in anyways, and Alex will get the credit.
I shouldn't be laughing at a play like this, but I just find it so funny. Bandit's flying by, Jkaps gets faked, Bandit get running right into Resharam, and Alex will take the goal at the end of it. What an interesting way to complete your hat trick here in Game 1, but it is a solid start here for YouTube Shorts FC and for KiroJkaps and Bandits. I mean, coming into a match like this, they knew that they were going to get paired up with a team like the YouTube Shorts. For most teams in this tournament, they're not really playing for top 16 or even for prize money. Only the top 2 teams get prize money in this tournament. So most teams in this tournament not playing for prize money, not playing for, or even for top 16. The vast majority of them just playing to see who they can play in round 1. They know that there's some big names in this tournament. They know there's some good teams in this tournament. So see if you can play against one of those big names. I know if I was in this tournament, I'd be doing the exact same thing. But KiroJkapsBandit and Bandit, they got it here, at least in winners round 2, of course. They want to get another goal, and they're really fighting for it here. Credit where it's done. They have been a resilient team this game. They have not given up.
I was also going to say, I mean, a lot of them are probably playing for a little bit of practice here. I noticed, I couldn't help but notice that there were a couple academy teams in here, a couple esports teams that were, a little bit unranked, probably had some diamonds on the team or whatnot. That kind of thing is very, very, it was what the grassroots esports scene is for. It's, to breed up the next generation of pro players. And so what you're seeing here in this tournament here is a lot of those next generation of players getting their practice in, getting their reps in, and playing against these higher level teams that you wouldn't normally get to play in ranked.
Yeah, it would be Resharam. Cooks her pinch. That one's not going to fool Kiro. Alex now. Beastie waiting in the midfield. He's left, so it's Resharam who's the next option. It'll go well wide into the corner. Beastie to challenge. Through it across. Look at it, the Kiro side just racing side to side up the ball. This ball has moved so laterally this game. They're having a tough time keeping up with it. The boost is becoming a problem for them here at the end of this game. And YouTube Shorts are in full control. Beastie on the pre-jump. Surely. Oh, it's up the bar and out. They were looking for the team pinch. In goes Resharam. Second touch. Not enough to get through Kiro. And it will be KiroJkapsBandit to clear the ball away. They got a goal this game. If I was them, I'd be happy enough with just that. But for YouTube Shorts, convincing Game 1. They're in for the freestyling. And the next question we'll have is, What game would we get in Game 2? As mentioned before, it's chosen by the winner of Game 1. We'll see what KiroJkaps and Bandit decide. I would expect 2s, but we'll see what they go for.
Is it the 1s or the 2s? We'll have to find out here in just a minute, but we'll take a look at our stats for just a second. A very even stat spread. Jkaps coming in at 178, the lowest in the lobby, unfortunately a little bit under average, but the rest of them sitting all around the 400 mark. Pretty impressive, you know, at least holding this YouTube Shorts roster to a reasonable amount of goals. I think it's you know, definitely down to the person on what you consider as reasonable, but you know, only 3 goals, you know, goal margin at the end of game 1. I think that's pretty good, you know.
Call's been made, by the way. It's going to be 2v2 up next. Oh, no, I'd be happy enough with that as well. Call's been made, by the way. It's going to be 2v2, so reminder that the players that play in this next game will not be able to play in the 1v1 later. So that's a big deal. Obviously, Resh is saying he wants to play ones, because that's going to be the better game mode for YouTube Shorts in this matchup. There's a reason KiroJkapsBandit and Bandit are playing 2s, because 1v1, they don't have a chance against a team like this.
Absolutely.
2s, I don't think they have a chance either, but at least I think that the chance is better. They can at least keep up a little bit more. We'll see who gets played. I would assume you're right, though, about your early prediction that it's going to be Beastie and maybe Reshiram. Who play? It is Beastie and Reshiram.
It does
playing now
like...
against Kiro and Bandit. So we go to game 2 here. Reminder that this is all best of 3 matches that we're going to be having on stream today. So a win here would be match points. Every other day it's going to be best of 7. So this match wouldn't be as important. And for today, it really does, because you know, you can get match point here. You can put yourself a step ahead, and considering how big the bracket is, again, 78 teams playing, you want to make these matches short so that you don't get tired later on.
Yeah, everyone's trying to get things started hot here in this 2v2 matchup. Beastie mode now trying to get one towards the net, but Resh taking that one back to his own side. He'll have a nice clear off that one, the controlled touch downfield. It's going to be a bit of low boost situation, but he still gets the pop on it, and a beautiful power shot. Unfortunately, just out of reach over the top of Kiro, and that will confirm them first blood here at 4 minutes and 33 seconds in the game.
Yeah, Kiro there really didn't approach that very well. He needs to be able to stay a little bit more goal side. He was just kind of covering the post, and that's not where Reshiram's going to be shooting. He's not shooting for the post, he's shooting for the net there, so he has put himself a bit out of position. He said that the boost didn't help him either, so he couldn't correct himself as quickly. That is goal 1 here for YouTube Shorts. Typically, as we go into these game modes with less than 3 players, typically the amount of upsets you see becomes less frequent. So these matches really favor the higher ranked players even more, because there's more room to work, more room to play, and especially for these bubble pro players, this is the mode they're probably most comfortable with. There's a little fall down play. Reshiram nearly made it 2-0 right there. YouTube Shorts dealing with the offense. Resh again, reset, 2-0 as Bandit couldn't get there in time. And again, you feel bad for KiroJkapsBandit and Bandit in a match like this, because realistically, if I would have them and I choose what mode I wanted to play, it'd be 3v3, because there's the least amount of space for your opponents, but unfortunately, they don't get that. They have to play in a mode with less space, less room. That favors teams like YouTube Shorts with players that not only play this mode decently often, but also are just going to be better when they are given open room to work. Oh, wait a minute. There's a goal off the kickoff. YouTube Shorts have gone for those fake kickoffs a couple times here, Xan. This one finally doesn't work for them. You felt like eventually Kiro and Bandit would have recognized this.
Yeah, that does seem like a bit of a, you know, probably a mistake from SBC there. I'm not sure exactly if the fake kickoff
SBC,
was the right strat.
It's YouTube Shorts FC.
YouTube Shorts right. FC, my bad. YTFC. You know, they just, it's an odd position to go and fake kickoff in, but that one gonna ping itself right off the top corner of the net there. Unfortunately, Beastie not getting the shot that he was quite looking for, but it almost went in, and it was almost beautiful, but almost doesn't pay the bills, and Bandit coming straight through to tie this one up.
Well, what a move for Kiro, right off the ceiling, and almost got the second touch. No chance to be active, your Beastie there. They clearly haven't given a lot of respect to Kiro and Bandit in this matchup, and they've brought out the mechanics at a perfect time. Only about 90 seconds into this thing, but Kiro and Bandit giving it their all. YouTube Shorts might need to start sweating a little bit more, because it's tied at 2. I don't think they were expecting this to be the scoreline that they had to meet at this point in their game. And again, Kiro and Bandit haven't really given up, haven't stopped fighting. They're here. They have essentially nothing to prove at this point, unlike YouTube Shorts, who of course expect themselves to be a comfortable team in the top 16. They have nothing to prove at this point for Kiro and Bandit, and I wonder, you know, watching this, Xan, and watching how these teams are, oh, that might be 3 goals there. It will be. Watching a match like this, with the way that Kiro and Bandit are playing, Also, they're playing with nothing to prove. Do you think that's the difference here? That they have nothing to prove, so they aren't as nervous about making mistakes?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it in a lot of different situations where, you know, the underdog team comes into a match thinking, you know, maybe we have a shot, but probably not at all. But we're just going to give it our all and see exactly what that, you know, entails. And it's worked out on many occasions. But when you're going against a caliber of, you know, 2/3 of an SBC roster and a top 32 RLCS contender, I'm not sure if hopes and dreams can help you out that much.
No, especially when you give them space. As I said, the last thing you want to do is give this YouTube Shorts team space. They're very mechanical, especially Reshiram. And they're probably not the kind of people you want to be giving room to work with. Unfortunately, 2v2 is a game mode where you're sort of forced to give teams room. As a double fake there from Resh, who caught Kiro and Bandit both jumping. You like that one, Xan, I could tell.
No, Sporty, I'm scared. I'm scared of Beastie.
Scared?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared of Beastie.
Scared?
He scares me a little bit because that chain dash, there were a lot of them, and they all were successful as he made his way downfield. And that's why Beastie's gonna be secure in this one, because he's there. He's here. He's there. He's everywhere. Roy can, but like instead it's Beastie mode, you know?
Yeah, it's Beastie's not an unknown player in RLCS. That's the scary thing about it. There's so many good players in this tournament. Of course, we'll recap afterwards if we get some time about some of the other top teams here. There's quite a lot of them. If I can account, I think there's 17 teams that have their highest ranked player rank A and 6-mans or higher. If you don't know what rank A is, that is top 32 RLCS equivalent. So that is quite high rank. We've got a lot of teams at that rank level. And again, not all of them are rank A. There are rank X teams like this, which is considered top 16, and then rank S, which is considered consistent top 16, usually players that can make it into the top 8, and maybe even a little further than that. So we're talking about very, very high ranked rosters here as YouTube Shorts. Up 3-0, up 3 goals in this game. At this point, I think the goal for them is just not keep scoring. Let this game end. Keep the ball away from KiroJkaps and Bandit. Just don't let them have a chance. Don't let this game go any longer than it is. Reminder that for them, at least, they are going to have a long day here. They want to make these matches short. They want to conserve energy. There's a big difference with going through the upper bracket or the lower bracket. Lower bracket means you get a unfavorable matchup tomorrow, but also you got to wait a lot longer. There's a pretty long wait time after upper brackets then to lower brackets. So with how many best of 5s are in the lower brackets. So you really don't want to wait, so you don't want to put yourself in a tiring position. And again, that would be all to play for a matchup where you're not favored to win. So for YouTube Shorts, they're trying to make this easier for themselves, keep their energy up high, keep in theory, the momentum that they have up high, and essentially save their energy for later matchups against teams that might really give them in theory, a much bigger challenge than KiroJkaps and Bandit are.
Yeah, something to definitely mention is that we do have a lot of other teams playing at this current moment. Our upper bracket is well underway. Many other streams. If you guys don't have those, other streams tabbed up, make sure you pop them open. POVs of other top teams playing. I believe we have. Let's see, what are some of the notable teams that are going on right now? We've got SSB that. What was that?
You can mention just about anyone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Well, I mean, SSB, Sporty, you and I last night got the absolute pleasure of watching them play through a nice bracket of individuals, and they didn't come out on top, but dang, were they close.
Yeah, they're a good team. They'll be an upset team in this tournament for certain.
They're playing right now. We've got NTX Esports just took their 3rd match against Passionate Pickles. I believe that's a streamed match right now. Houston Spartans are 3-0 against Pew Pew. Prime Depop, I don't believe they've gotten into their matches yet, but they're going to get streamed here over on one of our broadcast partners. So if you guys don't have them tabbed up, make sure you guys go check them out. But here we are at 0 seconds, 5-2. We're just waiting for this game to be confirmed so we can move on to the next 3v3, and it will be YouTube Shorts taking this next match very convincingly.
One more win, they're into winners round 3. They'll be into essentially the upper bracket portion of the top 32. So yeah, you said it, a lot of good teams waiting. Well, they'll be playing against 17X team, I believe, in the next round. So we'll get updates on that. That is a team with Belada, Matthias, and F1 Julian. Obviously get that match up next. But for us, we go to the 3v3 once again now for Game 3, DFH Stadium, the location here in Xan. Let's be realistic here. The last 3v3 didn't go exactly very well for KiroJkaps and Bandits. They have a lot that they're going to need to prove, a lot that they're going to need to work with, and of course, a lot of teams that are going to be challenging them as well. In terms of just the solid teams playing in this one, we've got some incredible teams playing here, waiting. We'll get to see how they perform. But you said it, a lot of good streams as well. Of course, we're streaming. Actually, I can list the streams from top to bottom here.
Oh, absolutely.
We've got 8 different streams. We've got Ecliptic Fades is live. They've got G7 Thriller versus Simplified Teal. We've got Sominomi. He's got Bunny Girl Senpai and Weenie Hut Juniors. After that is, well, after that's good. We'll go to the bracket later, I guess. The teams want to stir up again and go to game 3. They don't want me talking at this point. We'll go back to game 3 here. But for YouTube Shorts, they are on match point because all matches that we're streaming today are best of 5, not best of 7 like the rest of the tournament's going to be. Wins here, you're through to the next round of the upper brackets, and for KiroJkapsBandit, the run wouldn't be over for them, but they'd be in lowers, and again, a lowers that will be a lot of best of 3s and a lot of, you know, difficult matches. There's going to be some good rounds in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we've got Alex coming back in for his 3v3s, and we'll see how that affects the field and the pitch and exactly how the ball's going to get moved around it. But Kiro can have a nice touch. But Alex immediately there to shut that down. A flip reset to go, and Reshmo trying to follow that one up, but unfortunately not finding the pathway to the net. It's going to be a hard path to the net. Is this this KiroJkapsBandit roster do not want to lose here, but Alex is determined to make some sort of solution happen.
What a strike there, and Resh trying to guess, is it 118 kilometers an hour? It's not, it's 108, but he wasn't too far off. Yeah, it was surprisingly close here as well. But yeah, what a musty flick there from Alex. You were asking about him to make an impact. He will make an impact, of course. If they were to lose, he'd be in the 1v1 afterwards. And, well, that's something that I don't think they're thinking about too much here in terms of KiroJkapsBandit. But for YouTube Shorts, they're just trying to keep themselves in the lead. I think the big thing for them this game, at least if they ever had a goal, would be to not let KiroJkapsBandit score again. They've scored in both of the last 2 games, so they've been able to get goals against YouTube Shorts. If YouTube Shorts have any goals, about keeping a shutout. Not that that really matters all that much for them and their results.
Well, 3 minutes and 40 seconds is all that stands between them and the lower bracket, so we'll see exactly how that works out for them. 1-0 is the scoreline. Rush mode challenging his own teammate in his corner, and that's going to be a save from Alex on the goal line. Kiro trying to keep that one competitive, but Rush mode takes the control. Challenged by Bandit on the sidewall, and Beastie Mode immediately sending that one across to his own teammate and Alex, but it looks like Alex might be trying to score on his own net. Not sure exactly what's going on here, but maybe they're just trying to keep the score line down to 1.
I don't think so. I think they're just starting to troll a little bit. I think they realize that this is a game that if they just play their game, they'll be fine. Who knows? Maybe they're trying to make things a little more interesting for themselves. They're trying to go for like, essentially fun solo plays. Yeah, you've seen them going for a lot of psychos this game, pre-jumps, passing plays. They're just here to have fun at this point, YouTube Shorts. They know this is a game that if they just, you know, keep the ball away, they will be perfectly fine. Of course, they only up by 1.
almost had that. Resh almost had that corner psycho read. That was almost insane. I'd love to see him hit one here.
We haven't seen a psycho on this channel since it's in its 4.5-year history, so I'd love to see one. This is a tournament that feels like you might get your first. So we'll see if we get one. I've never had one on this channel. I'd love to see one eventually. It would probably be the coolest goal of the tournament if we do get to see one. But for now, YouTube Shorts are just, again, waiting, keeping the ball away. Only up 1-0. Will be up for Alex. He's got Resharam. Alex has pre-jumped this one. Oh, what a pre-jump. That was clean. And YouTube Shorts make it 2-0. And for KiroJkapsBandit, you saw them just kind of sit there and watch. Even they had to respect just how nasty that shot was.
Well, I mean, what are you supposed to do other than, like, try and pre-jump something there? I mean, it's not like you can do anything other than, like, sit on the goal line and wait for it to come to you, or you go to it. And in that situation, if you commit yourself, then you're kind of just saying good luck, other teammates. I hope you guys get that on the backboard there. And fortunately, nobody was able to make that save. Nobody was home for KiroJkapsBandit. But 2-0 is not a terribly hard scoreline to come back from if you can lock in just a little bit. But Resh trying to go for a crazy pinch, and he does get it. Does manage to bounce a little bit. We'll see exactly what speed that was. 58 miles per hour, or what was that? 93 kph.
Yeah. What a shot.
Yeah,
wow. What a shot. Well, every single goal they've scored in this game has been an absolute beauty. So, YouTube Shorts, you can tell, going for the clips here, maybe they are trying to push this onto their YouTube channels after the fact. Really like that pre-jump play earlier for goal 2. That was amazing. But we've got 90 seconds to go. I don't think this scoreline is going to be adjusted in any meaningful way. YouTube Shorts, pretty happy to just let this game tick away. They're going to keep going for those fun little solo-type plays, seeing if they, again, can put things on their YouTube afterwards. But for now, all they're doing is just here to have some fun. Let this game time out. They'll be going to that next round, of course, in the upper bracket. As for KiroJkapsBandit, oh, that's unfortunate. It's going to go in for 4-0. For them, though, their run will go in the lower brackets. They got a long road if they wish to be in the top 16. Because that lower bracket is 4 rounds long. It's a long lower bracket. There's some best of 3s sprinkled in there. It's a tough bracket. We'll have to see. Of course, we'll be paying attention to them as the night goes on to see how they'll perform.
Well, you know, now that this one's a little bit more done and dusted, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about those 8 streams that we got going on?
I'll try. I should have those. I do have those streams pulled up for you. While you're talking, I got the document pulled up that has all the streams in it here. Well, again, reminder that we've got... I don't actually know what match they have because I don't have the bracket pulled up on my phone, but I do have the streams here as well. We've got Noobkey live, twitch.tv/NOUBKI, Noobkey, as well as Sominomi, SOMIN0MI. We got Ecliptic Fades, ECLIPTICFADES. 6-0, by the way. Thank you for giving us more time, YouTube Shorts. We'll keep talking as well. While you do that, it's a little shot from Alex off of Beastie. A little deflection that goes in the nets. Our off Beast is live. ARAUFBEASTRL. Then Spartan Dragon, SPARTINDRAGON _ Ufin 0OFEN. And then Mr. Cat, MH_MRCAT. So those are all 8 of the streams here. We'll mention them again if they've got any notable matches, which they will all have at some point have a notable match on their channel. And we'll, of course, update you all as things go on. But for now, this game is, well and truly over. It's 6-0. I knew YouTube Shorts were going to put up a couple goals this game. I did not think they were going to put up 6. I thought they were just going to kind of let this game end after going up 3-0. But they're happy to let this game end. You know, can tell KiroJkapsBandit playing just for 1 goal, any goal. Again, they've never been shut out any of the games so far this series. That's an accomplishment that they can talk about. But overall, YouTube Shorts, I don't think we're in any shock with this result, but we'll be going to the next round. Reminder, as the rounds goes on, the matches get tougher, in theory, for YouTube Shorts. But for now, this one is well and truly over. As soon as this ball hits the ground, this match will be done. A Frio sweep for YouTube Shorts. Their run continues in the upper bracket as expected.
YouTube Shorts, 2/3 of that SBC squad and Alex coming together to make that one happen. They take their first match in the upper bracket, and that's going to be a wonderful start for their bracket run. $600 on the line. YouTube Shorts hungry for it here in this first match. Not to the disservice of KiroJkapsBandit. I think it is important to mention that they have done some real good stuff here. They helped them to a couple of different, close games. I will say that the YouTube Short squad was probably not trying the hardest. But we do have that bracket in the chat if you guys do want to go ahead and check that out. That is our full tournament bracket for tonight. The $600. Who's going to be playing next?
Or you could use exclamation point bracket. We have a bracket command.
Oh, we do have a bracket command. I did not know that. Exclamation point bracket if you guys do need it, or it is the one that is currently sitting there in the chat. If you guys are just joining us, YouTube Shorts just took their first match. We'll be following them through their bracket run. I believe they're going to be going up against, let me double check
Going up
here.
against, I think it's X17.
That is correct. Yes, 17X or something like that. Yes, 17X team is going to be going up against them. That is going to be the roster of Velada, only Matthias, Julian, and possibly Benito, I believe, is their sub. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, I believe we'll have some more beautiful Rocket League going on for you guys. YouTube Shorts versus 17X.
Welcome back to the Paradise Cup 5, Day 1. Uncle Xan, we've got the next round of the upper bracket here, and originally we were going to follow YouTube Shorts FC, but it turns out their match is going to end in a forfeit here, so we have actually switched to the other side, and now we get to our upper bracket. Yes, it's a mess. Don't worry. It's all very simple here. This is the upper portion. You win, you're through. See that little Day 2 thing at the end? That means you've qualified. These are the last 2 rounds of the upper bracket. For us here. Of course, YouTube Shorts, they're going to win their match by forfeit. They will be in the qualification round. We'll see them in the next match after this one. But for us, we've actually switched to the other side. It's Div 1 versus Dead End here. These are some solid teams here, rank A teams. Div 1 with Bishop, Nitro, and K. Dead End with Loxi, Nahitos, Steven, and Jay. I would expect Jay is going to be the one to play for that team. So, we've got some great matches here. We still have some good teams, and this is going to be a very close matchup because, mind you, as well, for the winner of this team, they get to play against, they get to play for qualification. Also, other than that, they get to skip a couple rounds. If you lose that next round, you only have to win once in lowers. So there's an advantage here. Because you lose here, you got to play best of 5s and lowers. Those are some long matches. I wouldn't want to play best of 5s and lowers. That lower bracket's going to take a while. It's going to be slow. It's going to be arduous. It's going to be painful. I'm not going to be a big fan of it if I was any of these teams. But someone's got to get sent to the lower bracket and play those extra best of 5s. So you don't want it to be you. You want to be in that qualification round. And these teams, they're close. It's going to be a real tough, difficult matchup. A bit of a toss-up, I would say, on who wins. Although I would favor the Div 1 team just a little bit, but it's going to be close.
I mean, once you get up to the highest rank of this game, it really is who's playing better on that day. And you hate to say it, but there's not a huge difference between rank A and rank B. I know that the rank A and the rank B players might have something to say about that.
I was going to say, I think I'd argue with you on that argument as well.
I think personally, once you get up towards that level of the gameplay, at least mechanically, you're not going to see a whole lot of difference. Both these teams are going to be very, very mechanically similar. Both these teams are probably going to make a similar amount of mistakes. I think the thing that you'll see with Div 1 is that they're going to be probably just a little bit more consistent with the rotations. That's kind of what you see when you get towards the higher levels of gameplay. Look at the intentionality of the play from Div 1. Look at exactly where they're playing the ball and who's receiving that. Does it have a purpose in being hit? But as we head into this first game and first match, we're super excited to see what this 3v3 brings for us. 5 minutes on the clock. 2 equally challenging teams. Steve and Loki are going to be starting this one off hot. This is a very interesting roster. I don't know if you have any particular thoughts on the Dead End side of things. All of these characters on the field are pretty decent characters. I haven't heard of them before personally, but you were telling me a little bit earlier that they're all very high caliber teammates. What can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Yeah, these kind of teams at the point of the tournament that we're at, these are sort of the RLCS Day 2 to Day 3 type of teams. Dead End is definitely a name that's made it to Day 3 in RLCS before. Div 1, full of a bunch of very high-ranked players that have made some pretty impressive runs, closing in close to Day 3. So these are very well-known players. The only difference, though, of course, is, again, Div 1 here, Loxi, Nahitos, and Steven. I actually thought Jay was going to be playing today, but it's Steven instead. Dead on the other side, scored by Bishop. It's the only one who has changed his name for this one. He's teamed up with Nitro and K. Div 1, I would consider by seeding are definitely the favorites in this matchup, but it's going to be close. This Dead End team has a lot of experience on RLCS. They are usually seeded quite high in RLCS. They're usually very high-ranked 2v2 players as well. So I'm really interested in seeing who's going to win the 2v2 and 1v1 modes in this matchup because I think by rank, I feel like you'd favor Dead End, but by 6-mans, which is what's seeding this tournament, Div 1 technically are favored. So we'll see. I think Dead End get favored in ranked, so we'll see what happens. But so far, they've started off very well. Div 1 haven't had a good start. They've looked a bit disjointed, and the pace, which I thought would favor Div 1 in this matchup, is actually favoring Dead End right now.
Yeah, Dead End are just getting out in there and being real aggressive real early. This is a lot thanks to Nitro here. He's getting these plays started. As you see, he's banging that one down to the middle of the field, and it will be a shot on net, but it will be Loki turning around, getting in the middle of that one, saving it for his team. Now Nahitos with the flip reset all the way over to the backboard, and it's a ping pong play straight back down the other way, and Loki, a little bit of an awkward position, but does manage to get a nice clear for a counterattack. K there barely in time. Like I said, this pace of play is a lot faster than the last match we were watching, with our rank H friends. It was, not particularly slower, but definitely, there was a lot more dead space between the plays, if you would agree, Sporty.
It's interesting because if you've ever seen RLCS competitive abilities, you'll know that the rank X teams, the teams that are rank A, rank X, you get to the really high rank level where you get to like rank X level teams, the play actually slows down compared to rank A and rank B. And the reason why is because in rank A and rank B, you can actually still outpace people, but by the time you get to rank X, rank S, even high rank A, everybody becomes so good that you're not really going to outpace anyone. Everybody can match each other in pace. It comes down to the quality of your plays. But at this rank level, rank A, rank B, pace actually does make a difference here. And you can tell Dead End, the faster of the two teams. They do have a bit of chemistry with each other. These guys, I think, have been teammates before in RLCS. Dead End is a name I've definitely recognized from RLCS. So these guys have that experience. They have that knowledge of each other, it seems, and they're really using it quite well. They're winning the midfield. The pace is working. The only issue that I'm going to have with them is the fact that they're really committing for offense. It's a common thing to see at this rank level, where players are going to overcommit for offense. The one thing that Dead Ends cannot allow happen is for open backfield, is for them to get caught on the counterattack.
And that was a close one, pinging off both crossbars and not unfortunately going in on for the side of a Dead End. But Div 1 really just hanging on by the seat of their pants here. Does look like they're more apt to play that defensive role and willing to allow them to make their mistakes and over rotate. Dead End, we were talking about how even being a little bit of a lower rank, that maybe this is their attempt at trying to just see if they can outpace them, and I think Div 1 is doing a pretty good job so far of allowing that to happen, allowing them to sort of set the pace, see what exactly they're capable of and test them out. But this is the point in which I would start maybe thinking about turning it up a little bit. You're 2-0 down, 1 minute and 30 seconds left to play, and that's not looking great. We've had a few offensive plays, a few offensive looks, but nothing's been super, super dangerous as of yet.
Div 1 have felt more desperate. You can really tell that they're finding a lot less on the end of their offense. They're not holding the ball upfield. They're sort of throwing the ball upfield and hoping that something works. But these heavy touches typically are the signs of a team that's panicking under pressure at this rank level. Teams that doesn't feel comfortable with the way that this game is being played. Dead End are making Div 1 move, and at this point in the tournament, start expecting a few more upsets with the way that these teams are seeded, the way these teams are ranked as well. We're seeing possible situations of upsets. We're seeing teams that could potentially now start to really challenge each other a little bit more. You still expect your rank X, your rank S teams to be the top teams, but in rank A, rank B, you mentioned it, there can be upsets, there can be differences, and in this game at least, the chemistry of Dead End is making up for what seeding has placed them behind, and Div 1 is going to need to make the choice going into game 2 of what game mode they want. I'm interested to see what they'll choose. I would expect 2s more than 1s. Most of these high-ranked players like to play 2s. But ultimately, Dead End with a very convincing game 1. The better team, the more offensively aggressive team, Div 1, really were just desperate to get something working on offense, and that is not a good sign because they're going to have to play 3v3 at least one more time this series. Realistically, and maybe even have to play it twice. They're going to have to find a way to pull themselves together, but the nice thing is, next mode isn't 3s. It's 1s or 2s, and it's going to be the choice, not of Dead End, but of the team that loses here instead in Div 1. So we'll wait on their choice, but going into game 2, I'm sure in the back of the minds of Dead End, they gotta, of Div 1, they gotta think, what are they gonna do to turn around this 3v3 mode?
Yeah, this now they're moving to 2v2s or 1v1s, and I will say individually, I actually think Div 1 was looking a little bit better. Loki and Steve, sorry, I'm gonna have to double check. How do we say the Div 1's second player there? Nehetios? Nahitos, my bad. Like mojito, but with an N. Nahitos was, definitely, they were controlling the ball quite well. And so I think if you take that towards a 2v2 or a 1v1 where you have a little bit more space opened up and the pace of play is a little bit slower, you might have a better chance. But then again, you have you run the risk of Dead End really turning on those afterburners yet again and turning around and really beating you on that pace of play. We saw it on a couple of different occasions here. Those 2 goals were just purely based on the fact that Dead End was faster to the ball than Div 1. And when you're at this pace, when you're at this level of play specifically, as we get into this 1v1, we'll have to see how it plays out for them. But the level of play is so similar between, these two teams that it's really going to come down to who's more chemically bonded.
By the way, I got an update. Apparently I have teams on the wrong side, so it's actually Dead End on the blue. Despite what I have listed in the in-game
I
lobby,
didn't even notice
it's dead end on the blue. I was thinking, wait a second, dead end isn't the team that has Bishop on it. No, it's a team with Loxi on it. They're on the blue for this one. Whoops. Well, we're back in. By the way, it was 1v1 that was chosen. Loxi's going to be playing against K, which means that the other players will be playing the 2v2 mode in Game 4 if we get there. But our first time seeing ones in this tournament. Such an interesting game mode. I love ones, personally. I know a lot of people don't like it, but this is typically the game mode where if you're the higher ranked team, you are really favored in a match like this. Because ones is a game mode where you don't see that many upsets, unlike freeze, unlike even twos. Your rank really will show here with all this open room and dead end with a strong start. Goal 1, courtesy of a little classy flip from Loxi.
I mean, it was cute, it was clean, and it got the job done, so you really can't complain about it. Loxi coming out with a little bit of control play early, showing off that he's got the mechanics here to take on this 1v1. 1v1s being one of the game modes that really relies very heavily on mechanics. 2v2 is also one of those ones that you would mention that it gives you a little bit more space to flex. But this specific 1v1 is going to be a battlefield of mechanics here, as K was showing off he has something in the bag there a little bit earlier, but no, Loxi, just a very clean battle for who's going to get there first, and unfortunately messes up K, but K messes up him, and Loxi just gets the weirdest recovery I've ever seen, Sporty.
But 1v1 goals are not exactly known for being very pretty looking. I can tell you that. So many goals in ones are just fighting for it and ending up being the winner. They all count the same. That's the nice thing that you can say to yourself when you score one of those, and I'm sure that K will be very disappointed about that, as he still has not been able to really out-mechanic Loxi, who has really been able to be the better player just in mechanics, as here he goes, a little flick into the bump, doesn't connect to the bump. He might try to shoot from here. No boost left, though. He's got to be very careful, and he isn't. Ooh. Oh, a poor challenge from Loxi, and it is the first goal of the game for K. It took him about 80 seconds to get it. He's going to need to work a little bit faster if he wants to win this game, but at least he's got himself on the board.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, Kay. That was very creative. That I haven't seen someone do a ground flick quite like that. Just got it right around Loxi, and it didn't take him out of the play enough to really, you know, hinder his recovery there. So he does manage to sort of keep his momentum and speed past Loxi, as Loxi is very unprepared in an awful position, a little bit of no man's land, which we don't see from Loxi very often. Been very, very well positioned as of late, but another option for K in the backflip, and Loxi is forced to put on a little bit of a show on the defensive side of the field, and now on the offensive side he goes for it again. A beautiful, clean flip reset. You say we don't get a lot of clean shots, Loxi, but look at that! What a beautiful goal from Loxi, coming out to get the 3-1 lead.
In 1v1, there is a history of undefendable shots. I'm sure you know the one that's currently considered the undefendable shot. That's the air dribble bump. I'm sure you've seen that good amount of that in your life. Before that, it was actually the flip reset was considered the undefendable shot, because if you hit it correctly, if you catch your flip reset correctly, essentially you can score without a doubt. And at this rank level, that's very true. As K with the flip reset, that one not so well placed. That is, he went a bit early on the shot. Loxi now. Gonna take it to the sidewall. He might go for a flip of his own. K not gonna let him do it. He jumps early. He missed it. It's gonna be 4-1. Oh, it should have been 4-1. No. He's missed the net completely there, Loxi. He had a wide open look at it. He still has K on just about nothing here. Flip to the back post, surely. Loxi, oh, he's waiting on the 50-50 instead. Dribble, still waiting. He's faked out K, and he's got him on strings. It's 4-1 for dead end.
Man, I'm really excited to see this specific 1v1, because this is actually, Sporty, I'll let you know a little secret, my first time casting a 1v1.
Oh,
so yeah, you guys are popping it right open for me, opening those doorways to a new opportunity. But this is incredibly fun watching K and Loxi go at it head to head here. If you're just joining us, this is a 3v3 primarily tournament, but we are doing crew battles. All of these players are getting their chance to shine here in different formats as we battle around. K now coming out with a nice air dribble into a little bit of a fake, it looked like. Loxi was expecting another touch from K there, and unfortunately didn't receive it. That one will be the one to battle back here on a comeback story.
Yeah, K's going to need to work a little bit faster, though. It took about a minute between his last goal and this one. It took actually about the same amount of time, almost like 70 to 80 seconds. So he's got to work a lot faster if he wants to get these goals, because simply put, scoring a goal every 70 seconds isn't going to win you this game against someone who can score consistently here. So K, he's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have to pick up the pace a little bit here, as As the time this game keeps running down, you're going to probably see Loxi start to just play more of a keep-away game. Waste out the time. He knows he's got the lead on K, and he knows that K is desperate. K is going to be far more willing to jump at the ball, take chances, and that means if you're Loxi, you can win the boost and run away with the ball and essentially force K to chase after you hopelessly. As we're inside the final 2 minutes, that's something that you're going to start to see a little bit more of here as Loxi initially thought he was going to turn around there and go back to nets. Instead, he'll throw it on the goal here. Poor touch for K. Loxi. K, oh, he didn't make it look easy there. In fact, he made it look a lot tougher than it really was. He had almost full boost. It's a play that K, I'm sure, is going to be very disappointed with, because with that kind of boost, the last thing you should do is give Loxi an easy shot.
Yeah, that was a very odd recovery. You could see he was panicking a little bit as it pinged off the crossbar there a couple different times, and it's something that happens to everyone. You know, that I think we I at least it used to be called the prospect panic. I'm not sure if they have a different idea for the bronze anxiety or something like that. But no, Kay really experienced that firsthand. Watching, staring down the barrel of Loxi's loaded gun there. It's a tough position to be in, but Kay, being one of those very, very resilient players, is battling back in a very hard situation. We'll mention that we are going to go back to a 3v3 after this, and K's squad and K's squad, Dead End did have the or Div 1 did have the upper hand on that matchup. So
is my scoreboard wrong? Did Div 1 actually win that match?
No, I don't remember.
I don't know if the scoreboard's wrong. I have to ask these players afterwards. I think it would be 2-0 for Dead End. Oh, that's a nice shot from Loxi. We'll ask them afterwards what the scoreline is. I'm sure the players will have no problem letting me know if I'm wrong or not. We can't count to 2.
Yeah, see,
clearly.
okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was Div 1 that got it.
We clearly can't count 2 games in a row here. This will be embarrassing if I got it wrong on the overlay.
Axe Food is saying that Div 1
Div 1
won.
Thank you.
1.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? That is the overlay being wrong. We'll fix that in a moment as soon as this game is over. Thanks, Axe Food. Up here is Dead End. Was a big way to get yourself back in. Div 1 are the favorites in this matchup. I like Dead End's chances. What happened?
I was going to say, it's funny because I looked over to double check myself to make sure I was correct and threw myself off even more, but Loxi, not thrown off by anything that Kay can do here, just getting a nice barreling through for a 50 and just confirms the goal immediately after. 37 seconds is not a lot of time to bring back 4 goals.
No, it's not. It's possible in a mode like 1v1 where you can score right off the kickoff, but we haven't really seen much kickoff in terms of kickoff success goals. So for Dead End and for Loxi,
could be here.
Oh, they might have to watch out here. Here goes K. It's a flick straight at him though. And he's gonna be careful he doesn't get bumped. Cleared away by Loxi. He might try to make it 8-3. No, he's not. He's going to run away with it here. This is the runaway play for Loxi now. He knows that K's on low boost. He's just going to keep playing it near the net. Force K to lose all of his time, lose his boost. It's a smart decision from Loxi. It'll guarantee him this game 2 victory. The final seconds will tick away here. No chance to come back for Div 1. It'll go all the way back.
Clean
it was a nice
pinch.
pinch.
Wow.
It was a nice pinch from Loxi, but I don't think he's looking to score. He wants this game to end. He will let it do just that. It is a win for Dead End, and this is a tied series at 1 game each.
No, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even realize that that pinch was gonna have nearly that much power from Loxi there. It looks like he was just kind of plan B-ing it, I guess. But no, he does get the pinch there, and it does send itself towards the net. Kind of symbolic of how that whole match went in itself. He just throwing shots after shot after shot at the net. And K not really having a good response, does get 3 goals of his own, but when you look at the score differential, 1,600 points coming out from Loxi. That's a insurmountable performance.
Yeah, it is. Loxi do a better 1v1 player. The nice thing is for K, at least, that's the only 1v1 in this series, so he doesn't have to worry about playing that mode again. But his teammates will have to worry about game 3 here. They won the game 3 3v3 mode. Reminder, if you just win 3v3s, you will win the series. The problem is, you got to be really consistent, and it's really tough to be consistent when you haven't played a 3v3 from 2 games ago. You just played a 1v1, you were in a different mode. Now you got to get back into 3v3. It's such a tough thing. I think it makes the 3v3 mode that much more intense that you don't have a 3v3 game right before it. So you got to get used to that here as we go back into the 3v3 mode here in game 3 of this series. It was Div 1 who did take it, and they're looking for another. It will be another. It's K already. And for Dead End, who struggled in the 3v3 mode earlier, I like their chances, but Div 1 have had their numbers so far, and Dead End will need to do a lot of adjusting if they are to be the team that goes through.
Yeah, this 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 dead end this Div 1 roster has had some difficulty, you know, getting things started in the 3v3s, but you know, now at this point they're really rocking and rolling. The afterburners seem to be in full force. Okay, maybe getting a little bit of you know, life back after that 1v1, going back to a 3v3, thinking, oh man, I can wipe the sweat off my brow and maybe rely on my teammates just a little bit more, because that's kind of the blessing of a mode like 3v3, is just having those 2 extra people on the field that are you know, on your back and have it. As long as you can trust them, it definitely provides a lot of security.
Div 1 still with it, looking for 2 goals. It's K with the long clear. Steven just barely on the touch. Him and the Heroes will have to be in the 2v2 mode afterwards. I don't know how good their chances are in that mode. So in a game like this, I would favor, I feel like I would have to favor Bishop and Nitro in 2v2. So for Dead End, that makes this a really tense moment. That's a close one there. K will get on the end of it. So often after the 1v1 mode, we see that player that loses in the 1v1 struggle to really kind of adapt back into 3v3, get the mental right, but you already see K getting involved in the right ways. As pinched away by Nahitos. K again, already with a goal, looking for 2. It's K to the net! Loxi is going to clear it off the line in Dead End. Keep it a 1-0 scoreline, but with how much defense they're playing, it feels like nothing has changed since we first saw them in Game 1.
Well, we'll be seeing this, looking to see how K and Loxi can kind of get their way back into the game, if that 1v1 is thrown off too much to play with their teammates, or if maybe that a little bit of aggressive play that they had gonna pay off in a more aggressive look for both of these teams so far. We have seen Div 1 score 1. If you're just joining us here, it is tied up 2-2 in the series, however. Oh my goodness, everyone sent for that one, and K, the only one bumped away, and it doesn't look like anyone even really hit the ball that well. Now Loxi, off Loxi, Bishop is going to send that one down to Steve, and Steve is going to send it to his own corner, unfortunately with a little bit of a whiff there. Loxi to save him away, and K immediately taking the center for a look at the net. Does get the demo to go, but Loxi, guardian angel for his team on the back line, manages to find a way to keep that away from the net. Now it bounces its way in the midfield. Nahitos and Loxi putting together a play there. Doesn't quite make its way to the net, but I do like the chemistry there, and I do like the looks.
Yeah, it is. What a great look it's going to be, and what a great match it still is. Dead Ends have added some offensive looks, looking for some pressure. Will be cleared away, though. Div 1 have had a much tougher time this game. It's not been nearly so easy for them. I wonder if Dead End have made changes, or if they've just been able to acclimate a little bit better. Some teams just play better at the end of a series once they understand how their opponents want to perform, but it's Div 1 with the clear. Nobody back. Steven! Oh, he missed it! It's still in front! Bishop is right there! And he won't be able to fall on top of it. Loxi with the clear. That's Game 2, 1v1 hero. Will now follow to K. Bishop missed. Will be left for Loxi. Dead End getting very close in these games, but they will keep things in control for now. They still need a goal. They haven't had much to show for it on offense. Steven will make me eat my words. Dead End with a goal in a desperate moment.
I don't even know what to say about this shot, Steve, with just going back to basics, really. Like that was just driving at it and flipping into it, and he found the right positioning to slide it in there, where there weren't any defenders really able to make their way towards it. It was a little bit of a mind game one too, because I think they were expecting him to hit it quite a bit sooner, to really just barrel through there, and yet he took his time and really placed that one in a good position. So congrats to to Steven finding his, I believe, first goal in this series here. Now Bishop immediately playing defense in the midfield, does not want to allow anything towards his net, because here they are tied up, and that's a rare look for them in this 3v3 mode against against Dead End. They've been Dead End was pretty good in that first matchup, and Div 1 was narrowly able to snag that one. Now K up in the air.
Oh man, everybody's in the corner.
My bad,
right now.
Sporty, you're good.
No, I was just gonna say, I actually Game 1 felt like it was pretty one-sided. All things considered, it felt one-sided to me. It felt like one team had all the pressure and the other one didn't. By comparison, this game's even. It's very even. I think this game, you can tell that both these teams have had their chances. I think Div 1 have had more of them, but Dead End have had their chances. They've not been nearly as outperformed. The Thing is, we might have an overtime as well. We're in the final seconds here. Oh, it's open room for Nitro. Steven whiffed on it. It's K, and it's 2-1. A big mistake from Steven. He had the heroic play earlier, but this is from hero to zero. A big whiff, and it doesn't get much easier than that.
Yeah, Div 1's showing some consistency here in the 3v3 game mode. As they battle back here. Final seconds, not allowing it to go to any overtime. I'd love to end this here in regulation, but not if Dead End has anything to say about it. They'll let it bounce in their own half before trying to put together some sort of counterattack here, but it's going to fall to the ground before they have a chance. And that's going to be Div 1 securing their second win in this match.
Yeah, match point now, by the way. One more win, and they're into the championship matchup as well. Well, not the championship, the qualification matchup, I should say. It might feel like a championship for day one for a lot of these teams, but I promise you it's just for qualification here. As we'll be getting things going in just a moment here as well. But, oh yeah, better game from Dead End. Still, though, the start of that game looked a little bit rough for them. They still had less chances as well. The shots favoring Div 1 here, them being 9-4. So for Dead End, they just seem to have a struggle with making offense. The nice thing is, we go into twos, and I think for Dead End, I don't favor them in twos, but twos is not a bad mode for this team.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this if twos really offers either side an advantage. I think it'll be very similar to the 2v2s or to the 3v3s. You know, the real one that kind of is a kind of a toss-up is the 1v1s, because it's such a different beast, and not everyone grinds ones too. I think if you're choosing your particular player that's going to be going for the 1v1s, you're either choosing the person who grinds it the most, or you're choosing the person who is mechanically the best. In 2v2, you're looking for the best pairing possible. So we'll actually have to see how that pairs up here. We've got Bishop and Nitro pairing up against Nahitos and Steve. Steve, being one of the saviors of last match, did have quite the showing, and now Bishop coming through in the first 10 seconds of this match to send one home.
Yeah, Dead End, reminder, they were the ones that got to pick earlier what mode they wanted. They picked ones, so that was the mode they felt more comfortable in. This is the mode they feel less comfortable in this matchup, and for good reason. With the people that are on Div 1. Div 1 isn't really a ones team. I think they were kind of a team that picked their players and were like, hey, we're going to pick our twos team first, and whoever doesn't get picked goes in ones, and so that's unfortunate. It will be in for Nitro, though, for 2-0. Dead End is an interesting choice for me. I think they picked their team based on twos as well, but they're less... But they had more of a one specialist on their team as well here. Again, Nahitos, Steven, it was Loxi for them earlier, and Loxi's a great player. He's definitely not a bad ones player by all means. I mean, you saw him win against K, but... I think for Div 1, they picked their team specifically with the idea of playing a 2v2 mode in mind as well. And for Dead End, being with match point against Lemire, they gotta really show up. I think this is a mode that they're not favored to win in. But if they can get goals, they can get chances, they can give themselves a chance. This is the mode that everybody's gonna probably be most comfortable with.
Man, Nahitos off the backboard to Steve, and Steve does get the 50, and it ends up in just a right place, right time thing for Nahitos. Does end up being a start of a comeback story for them, possibly here at the 4-minute and 30 seconds mark here in the game. We'll have to see if that actually does anything for him here, or if this is just going to be delaying the inevitable. Bishop now with a flip reset in front of the net. Fortunately, saved by both. Now Nitro on the back foot, playing to his own corner, but both players have boost here. See if Nitro can get it around. He does get it around one. But it is a fake challenge for Steve. Steve now on the counterattack, but Bishop not too worried about it. Does get demoed for his worries, however. Nahitos with the touch, unfortunately not going anywhere. Nitro with full no boost now. Flip reset opportunity. Gets the flip to Bishop, and Bishop now trying to put another shot on net. Steve there as one of those brick wall defense players that we've seen multiple occasions now. Just being a menace on that back line.
I'm surprised you mentioned the 1v1 being the mode where you're going to get your most mechanical player, because I really feel like twos is where you see those most mechanical players really show up, because especially if you're the first player on offense, you're expected to have to play sort of a 1v2 position where you open up space, because the guy behind you, that second player, can't challenge if they're not absolutely certain they're going to win. So if you're the first player up, your job is make things awkward, win in a way in a 1v2, and at least set up something for your teammate, if not score. And you're going to see a lot of that here, where those mechanical players are going to do it. Nahitos on Dead End for Div 1. seems to be Bishop, who's taking that kind of mechanical first role where they're going to play that 1v2. They're going to try to open up space for the player behind them to put the ball in. But behind him obviously has the role of not giving up a goal, not giving up too easy of a counterattack here. Tough play for Nitro. That's gone just wide. He just got a piece of it. He'll go the other way now. Nitro up first. Flippery's set to work with. He's got past one. He's got past them both. The net is vulnerable. Shot taken, and it's off the bar. What a great looking chance for Bishop. Rarely do you see him miss that badly.
I actually think I would almost argue that they're doing two different strategies here. It seems as though Nitro on a couple of these quick counterattacks has been the person to really play the first man, and Bishop has definitely sat around in that midfield waiting for Nitro to beat both players so that he has a nice easy shot. And that's how they've gotten a couple of their goals now. But I will say that I think Bishop has had his light on the first man role as well on a couple of these plays. So it seems like they're almost playing this interchangeably as to who's the first man and who's the second man, which I think might have a little bit of a better angle at it because Steve is lacking in the offense department here. He has what, 4 shots here, but none of them gone in yet.
No, and here's another goal as well. Yeah, I was going to mention one of the problems with Dead End right now. You mentioned it. It feels like Div 1 are more interchangeable. Either of these players can take that mechanical role over Dead End. There's a lot of pressure on Nahitos to perform, and that makes your offense very easy to read because you know that Steven's not going to push up and play offense. He really hasn't done that much. He almost scored. If he scores there, I would have had to probably leave afterwards. But
eat your shoe or something. Yeah.
I would have left. I would have done a Sunless Con and ate my shoe on stream. You know, all the good stuff there. But you know, for Dead End again, it really feels like, again, Steven sort of has that role where he's sort of just seeing if Nahitos can just do the work himself, and that makes your offense a lot easier to read, because anytime they're upfield, you're really only looking at Nahitos to be the scary player. Steven's just sort of playing supports, and unless Steven gets in and maybe goes for, like, bumps, something else, something a little bit more, you know, supportive and making things open for Steven, it's really tough to have a scary offense when, you know, there's only one player really taking all the shots and taking all the real mechanical efforts. It's not nearly as threatening to you if there's only one player that you're really scared of.
Yeah, and I don't want to put any most of the blame on Steve either. I do think it's a lot on Nahitos to be that player that can rotate around very quickly. If you're the higher ranked player and the more mechanical player, I see it a lot when I play with you know, maybe some of my lower ranked buddies who, you know, aren't as good at recovering and getting back in time. If you're gonna go for a solo play, you have to be able to recover and get back to support that back player, because otherwise they're getting in a 2v1 situation. And as much as I love Steve, I don't think he can handle Bishop and Nitro at the same time. And in this one, Bishop just muscling it through all himself on the backboard.
Yeah, it's a tough position for Dead End here. They knew that if it ever came down to the 2v2 mode, they'd be in a much tougher position. Well, Div 1 have definitely proven themselves going into this match. I definitely favor them in the 2v2 mode. They've proven exactly how right I am. That is very right here, because it's 4-1 in their favor. And this is going to be them advancing to, well, as long as they don't throw away 3 goals quickly here, next round of the tournament. They'd be playing against YouTube Shorts FC, and they're the favorites in this matchup. Obviously, they've proven that as well. But for Dead End, you can't doubt this team. They're a good team. There's some solid players. They're going to be a scary team. I would not be surprised if we see them in that lower bracket qualification matchup. They have the capabilities of doing it. It's a long road to be there. It's a long road to get there. They're going to need to play very well against some very good teams. But I think that lower bracket is a possibility for Dead End. Unfortunately, the upper bracket is not. Div 1, take them down 3-1, advance to the next part of the upper bracket against YouTube Shorts FC.
0 seconds, and Bishop trying to keep it up here, looking for an extra goal, but it's going to be taken off the top by Nitro, and it hits the end. That'll be the dead end for Dead End, as they had their way down to the lower bracket. Div 1 will be advancing in our upper bracket. If you're just now joining us at home, make sure you guys go check out the other 8 streams that are going on. We've got all sorts of different Rocket League action all coming across to you here for the $600 Paradise Cup 5. We're very excited to bring it to you here. And man, as we get into this next matchup, I don't want to breeze over this, but like, we've got now Div 1, which is a rank A team, against YouTube Shorts FC, which is a rank X team, I believe. Yeah, rank X. So we went from having a B versus an A to now having an A versus an X. So this will be a very interesting moment for you guys to go ahead and see exactly what differentiates a rank A team from a rank X team.
Yeah, you mentioned how B and A may not have as much of a difference, at least with these two teams, they didn't have as much of a difference. A and X, though, there is a pretty big difference, especially when it's a full rank X team versus a team that's
Absolutely.
full A rank A. I think the other one you saw kind of a mix in between B and A. This one, there's
Yeah.
definitely going to be there's going to be a difference. There's definitely a difference between RLCS top 32 and RLCS top 16 in just the experience that these
Absolutely.
teams have. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a few minutes off. When we come back, we'll have the YouTube Shorts FC versus Div 1. Reminder, winner of this qualifies to tomorrow. So this is a huge matchup, qualification on the line. We'll see you guys in just a few moments.
Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the Paradise Cup qualifier. Well, it is now top 16 on the line in the upper bracket. Our next matchup here, as we take a look at all the results that have happened so far, is confirmed. It will be YouTube Shorts FC versus Div 1. The bracket hasn't updated on this side, but I promise it has been updated on our own end. Div 1 plays against YouTube Shorts FC. What a day we have so far. YouTube Shorts, heavy favorites in this matchup. I think we can... But we're getting to the point where, it's the top teams, and if you're Div 1, you put yourself in perfect position to qualify, potentially through lowers if needed. Of course, though, why not qualify through uppers? We haven't really seen much from YouTube Shorts today. Their first match, been kind of thrown away because it was against a team that wasn't really going to compare to them all that well. Div 1 will compare to them in a way, and they're going to give them a challenge, so we're going to get to see really what YouTube Shorts are made of in this tournament, because this day 1, so the first day you get to see kind of how good your team's going to be compared to everyone else. This is the day to do it. This is the day to prove yourself. This is the day to be like, hey, I'm there, I'm good, we're good, and we're here to win this whole thing. But, Xan, if you look at our bracket right now and everything that's happening around in it, anything surprising? Anything interesting? Any matches that you think we should promote other than our own?
I mean, I think it's definitely important to mention Team Silence not gonna be coming back through the bracket here. They did DQ all the way out, unfortunately, so it will be Nitro Method, which is SBC Nez's team, a friend of mine that I've definitely seen play quite a few times. Great player, so definitely shout out to him. Gonna see if he can make his way. He's over on Ufin's stream right now. Then we've also got Desire versus CMZ. As we get into this game, don't want to leave them in the trenches here, because the players are ready to go and ripping and ready, and apparently we are the ones who are behind here. 5 minutes is on the clock. This is going to be YouTube Shorts FC versus our winners from the last matchup. Div 1, my bad. Completely blanking on names. We're getting to that point of the night where the brain stops working, but hopefully the brains are working
through here. I need you to stay alive for me, Xan. We're only halfway through this.
I know. It's going to be a long one. Like we said, if you're just joining us now, 78 teams, just under 80 teams registered for this $600 cash cup tonight. This is a 3-day event, however. So all of these teams, even though they have a long night tonight, will still have 2 more days of play ahead of them throughout this if they hope to win any portion of that $600 there.
Div 1 was the clear better team in 3v3 in their last game. I don't think this game's going to favor them very well, considering that 2/3 of the YouTube Shorts team is part of the Spacebound Cowboys. So in 3v3 for Div 1, the goal here is just win at least one 3v3 mode. 2s and 1s, they have I think a better chance at winning those. But 3s is going to be so tough for them here. They've got to at least keep things close. The thing is, you have to win at least one 3v3 mode in every series you play if you're at least going to win this. And now, likely you need to win more. Typically the team that wins the majority of 3v3s wins the whole series. The better 3v3 team typically wins a matchup here. So if you're Div 1, these 3v3 games, they're sort of your game. Obviously, I think they're the games that they're going to be, they might have the toughest time against YouTube Shorts. Definitely a game that you want to make sure that you don't look too bad in. The nice thing for Div 1 is 2s looks good for them last series. I think 1s struggled. 1s is going to be a struggle for them as well this series. So this 3v3 mode for Div 1, they're hoping they can win at least one. If not, I'm sure they'd love to win 2 of them and make it the 1v1 mode is a mode they don't need to win.
As we follow the play that's going on right now, Bishop sending one to the backboard, but Resh immediately intercepting. BC trying to get that away from his own side of the field. Alex picking it up immediately, getting it down the field, but K's there to receive, and Bishop going to try and challenge that one early with Beastie. No one really coming out on the upper hand there except for Nitro. Going to bang that down to Resh. Resh immediately receiving it for the flip reset. Unfortunately, not going to be a goal quite yet. Nitro with a shot downfield. As I said that, I was hoping I wasn't caster cursing it, but Beastie mode there to save. Now Bishop looking for the sidewall psycho. Alex immediately responding in kind with his own counterattack. And I like these outlet plays that are going up, going on downfield, Sporty. It's been a nice chemistry from both teams so far. It doesn't look like anything super non-intentional as Beastie intentionally bangs that to the backboard and follows up beautifully, getting a top-down angle on that. Absolute banger.
It works in the low ranks and it works as well in the high ranks. Hit it to the backball and see if your opponent misses. it's always going to be something true. And again, it's something we mentioned as well. There's definitely going to be a clear difference between X rank and an A rank team. Last matchup was close. Again, you had kind of a mix of A and B rank players. This matchup is, I don't know if it's going to be nearly as close with the kind of caliber we have. It's going to be close, at least in threes. But X rank, there's definitely a difference between X rank and A rank. There's a difference between every single rank. But the higher rank you go, typically the bigger the difference is. We'll see though. The nice thing is for YouTube Shorts, this is goal 1 for them. And again, they're just going to test D1, the Div 1. They're going to see like what they can do, what they can't do. And again, we expect to see YouTube Shorts play their game at this point. They've had a easy first 2 rounds. I mean, their first one was against a rank H team. We saw that. The second one was a forfeit. This third round for them, well, yeah, this third round for them, again, upper round 4 here, is a matchup where they're just here to, I guess, again, just kind of, they're just here to really prove themselves here against a Div 1 team. That's going to be a challenge. Again, reminder that there's 2 more days of action, top 16s tomorrow, top 8 the day after. So matchups like this against Div 1. Div 1's a team I would not be surprised to see in top 16. If you're YouTube Shorts, this is already kind of a precursor to what you're going to get to see tomorrow. If not, maybe even the day after.
1-0 is still the scoreline here with 1 minute of regulation left to play, and we'll see exactly what that, entails for both these teams. We'll definitely put a little bit of pressure here on Div 1 to get something started. They've had a couple of offensive looks, but nothing quite being put together fully so far. I have to see how far down the field they can get it, but Resh Mode putting a very quick stop to that and putting them back in their own corner. Alex immediately stopping that in the corner and trying to get it center for him, but K, again, it's very interesting because like this is the difference in level of play between an A ranked team and an X ranked team. You're seeing the consistency in intentionality in play. Every single ball is being hit or 50'd into a position where the teammate can follow up. You see that with Resh to Beastie right there. Beastie to the backboard where he can follow it up himself and put it directly under the crossbar. What a beautiful play. Masterclass in exactly what I was saying.
Well, both goals, it looks pretty similar here. Throw it to the back wall and see if they handle it. Both goals have been double tap goals, and you're gonna see a lot of this. I'm not gonna be surprised that we're gonna see YouTube Shorts really attack the back wall here. They know that Div 1 is slightly slower, slightly less out of position, a little bit weaker than them in terms of their rank level. You can really throw the ball into the back wall and test them back there, and even players at the rank level that Div 1 is at, if the ball's hit there hard enough, well enough, they're not going to be able to catch up, and boost especially is going to be a problem. They're not going again. This could be 3-0. Restaurant to leave. It is in the net for Beastie. A 3-0 game 1. And again, the back wall left open. This time, with a lack of boost. K usually is the player that goes for that one, but this time, without the boost, he can't go. It's an easy play slot in for YouTube Shorts FC, and you can tell immediately over to the call made. The mode that they won last series, it will be 2v2 up next. The mode that Div 1 have to feel is their most comfortable.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting situation to see how this Div 1 team can actually, because 2v2s, you immediately lose a person, right? I mean, both sides can lose a person, and it might be, pretty detrimental to YouTube Shorts to not have their third there, especially after playing this whole last match of having a third and being able to rely on that person. But the biggest issue, I think, is going to be that Div 1 don't have the third person, and that's going to be a huge detriment to them. They've been relying on those 3-man rotations for a lot of their success here in that last match, and they're not going to have that third person to rotate behind them, so we'll see if they can adjust to the 2v2 rotations. We'll see if that pace of play outpaces them yet again, or if they'll be able to find a way to battle back.
Interesting call here from Div 1. K was played the 1v1 mode last series. He's actually here in the 2v2 mode with Bishop, so that leaves, who is it that's their last player? That they... Who's that last player on their team that now that isn't playing?
Oh, Bishop, K, and, hold on, roster.
Nitos? No, it's not
Yeah,
Nitos.
No, Nitro.
Nitro. That's interesting. It means Nitro's going to play the 1v1 mode against YouTube Shorts.
I don't hate that, though.
Alex and Restaurant, they're leaving BC to play the 1v1 mode. So I think YouTube Shorts, and, they realize that Div 1's going to play the best team here. This is the mode they're most comfortable with. I think, they're trying to snipe the 2v2 mode from Div 1. It's interesting, because so often you see teams oftentimes just kind of, play a standard normal, maybe not as strongest rotation in 2v2 to win the 1v1 mode where obviously YouTube Shorts would be the favorites in that if they're, as well, just based on the rank that they're at. But I find it interesting. They're playing the 2v2 mode with Alex and Restaurant, so I would not be surprised if this is their top team, this is their strong team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing this to snipe the mode from Div 1, see if they can take Div 1 down in the mode that Div 1 is best at. So it's an interesting call from YouTube Shorts. It's a bit of a risky one, I think, if they're going to play the player who played the 1v1 mode earlier in the 2v2 mode. But again, I don't mind this call. Beastie's not a bad player, and for once, he'd be solid as well, but this is not a solid start for YouTube Shorts. They've had a tough time getting through the midfield here, and it is Bishop. With goal 1, Alex just a bit too slow, and you gotta give credit to Bishop. What a great recovery. It's one that kind of bounces favorably for him, but he'll take it however they come.
I also think that K in the last matchup was not the greatest option for Div 1 on the 1v1 field. We saw that Loxi definitely had a great look against K. A bit of it had his number a little bit, and K was just a little bit slower. And so if we're going to be seeing a 1v1 with Beastie there, Beastie's a very fast player. He's very quick to get around the field. His recoveries are nice, and his mechanics just complement that playstyle so heavily. It's going to be interesting to see if that's the correct choice. I think it might be, because K right now is putting in some work to try and keep this ball out of his net and put it in the other way, but no, it's going to fall just short of going into the net, passing that boundary. Now 1-0 seems a little bit insurmountable for maybe this YouTube Shorts FC. We'll see.
They've got a 2-on-1 here. They lost their 2-on-1 as soon as Alex got bumped off by Reshiram. We'll keep the clear up field, and it's low boost right now for Div 1. It was a miss on the boost there, back from K. He has recovered. Bishop will be behind him. Low boost now for Reshiram. He's got to go back to net here and just keep things well away from the goal. You can tell YouTube Shorts struggling a lot more with this open space. Div 1 doing such a good job on their rotations. They're making it tough to handle. That ball goes halfway in the net, but Div 1 have control. Reshiram again, 50-50 taken by Bishop. Alex on 1. Alex to the net. He's going to fake out K. In comes Bishop. He's saved his team there. YouTube Shorts still on the attack. Another reset taken. Alex to the back wall. Reshiram, YouTube Shorts with their best look of the whole game so far. They're still searching as Div 1 struggling a lot more with the boost. Off the back wall for Alex. This one is into the top of the net. No chance to save it from Bishop. And with all that pressure, YouTube Shorts their skill manifesting in offense, and this felt like eventually inevitability.
I mean, it looks like 1 minute and 54 seconds is now not a lot of time to hold out. If you really want to play for overtime, it is a possibility, but I think they're going to have to play for a win if I'm on the side of Div 1 here. You don't have a whole lot of space to really, like, kind of sit back and have that ball come to you and play for the counterattack. They really got to be aggressive here, get into the plays a little bit more, as we see K getting into that top corner, keeping the ball out of the net, but Alex with a beautiful backflip manages to keep that ball going towards the towards the blue corner. Now Bishop with the control and the ball on top of his car tries to flick it around 1, but Reshiram is immediately there. See if K can get it across. He does, and pumps Resh mode for his worries. Alex immediately there to challenge on the back of the side of the field. See if Alex can get back again. He does, but low boost now for both team members. K gets the back pass to, Reshiram gets the back pass to K. K off his own back wall with the control play, flip reset to go, and that gets to the backboard, but Reshiram immediately there to send it the other way. It seems as though this Div 1 roster, as soon as they make it down the other side of the field, it just doesn't have any time to be able to put together a play, but K with an amazing flip catches everybody off guard and secures himself another lead.
Yeah, it is. That's going to be really fun as well. That's going to be amazing. I love the look so far. I love what I'm seeing out of them, and it's a big, big clear. But again, I'm enjoying this as well. We're just moments away from seeing what might be the end of this game. There'll be a big demo there. Alex, be careful as it will be left for Bishop. Reshiram, Alex. K waiting. He'll keep it to the corner. It's still played out by Bishop. Div 1 have the chance to score. It will be Bishop for 3-1. He's trying to put this game out of reach. YouTube Shorts, as long as they keep the ball in the air, they will have another chance to look at. Alex again. Reset. Really didn't like his look on that one. And then it was Reshiram who didn't like it either. He's not going to be back in time. It's Div 1. And surely it is a tied series. YouTube Shorts trying to snipe the 2v2 game mode that Div 1 won last series. They will be unsuccessful as we'll go back into 3v3 for match point.
I'm curious what the thought process from YouTube Shorts FC was with putting Alex and Reshiram on the field. I believe, putting the two players that play together on a weekly basis on the same field at the same time might, really benefit you if you're really just trying to take these matches very quickly. But now it's Beastie. It's going to be in the 1v1 well, it looks like we are going to be getting to a game 4 here. So we will be seeing a 1v1 with Beastie and our fellow friend Nitro on the Div 1 side. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm not sure who I would call for that one, but before that, we'll be getting to a 3v3 here where everyone's going to be taking the pitch yet again. See if this 2v2 is throwing people off too much or if they'll be able to get back in the mindset of 3v3 for those rotations.
You said it as well. We'll see what kind of a mindset we get here. Well, I've got a different mindset for you here. I've got a friend who's joined me for a little bit. She says hi. Say hi to people. Say hi. She's looking at me instead. No, look at the camera.
Aww.
Say hi to the camera.
What a cutie.
Anyways, she's like, let me down. I don't like
that. I don't want to be here.
Oh, she definitely wants to be here. She just doesn't want to be picked up and held all the time.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've got Game 3 ahead of us here. My cat's joining us. We're all having a fun time. Mind you, there's qualification on the line. We may be acting chill here. This is not a chill, I would say. Not, this cat is interesting. She's now sniffing my chair. Anyways, we go to Game 3 here. Well, I have my distraction. These players can't be distracted at all. We go back to the mode that YouTube Shorts are favored in. They won Game 1. It was close, though. That's the difference. It was close. This match, the 3v mode is the closest mode for these teams. In theory, it would be the closest mode. YouTube Shorts are the favorite. They look like the favorite. They played as the better team. We'll see if Div 1 have a chance. Right, they have to win at least one of these if they ought to go through if they ought to qualify through this match. So, Div 1, they may not be the better team in 3v3. They gotta win one of these eventually, or else no matter what happens, they're not gonna be going through.
Well, and it would be nice to win it here. Put yourselves on match point going into that 1v1. Give yourselves a little bit of a cushion here in case things don't work out in your favor in the 1v1. So, really is down to the wire here. And as we head into our third game of this series, YouTube Shorts FC versus Div 1 in match 3, the 3v3. Man, lots of threes in that one, but now 3 players are making their way down in Beastie, Alex, and Reshiram. Resh mode immediately banging that one downfield, hopefully starting a play here, but K responding in kind down to Nitro in the middle of the field. He's got control and boost to the backboard. Now Reshiram immediately down the other way. Does get it out center, but Nitro immediately shuts that one down again. Not a lot of, transition time between these plays, Sporty. Everyone seems to be very on top of their rotations, not thrown off by the 2v2s at all, but Alex, who was a little bit quiet in those 2v2s, comes back and immediately sends one towards the net.
Yeah, misplay from Bishop. Right to him. He just didn't read how heavy the bounce was going to be, and it's one of those ones where he just sort of where he just misses it. He misreads the touch, and you're seeing Div 1 under pressure make a few more mistakes. That's the difference here between these rank levels. Oftentimes can be the the difference between B and X and S. The lower ranked teams that you don't expect to see in the top 16 versus the higher ranked teams that are almost guaranteed to be in the top 16 by the end of the night. The difference is consistency. There are just going to be teams that are more consistent than others, and you're seeing that. You're seeing that kind of difference in consistency right here between these teams. One team making a lot more mistakes than the other. One team a lot more consistent than the other. One team scoring a lot more goals because of that consistency than the other here. And YouTube Shorts starting to run this 3v3 mode. Div 1, who kept things relatively close for most of Game 1, in Game 3 here, may have a very different outcome because YouTube Shorts letting their consistency dictate this game, and it is not pretty right now.
Div 1 definitely needs to find a way to get back in this game. Their heads don't seem in it entirely right now as Beastie sends this one all the way down the field. Nitro intercepts it. See if the outlet pass here down to Reshiram gives them any room to work with. He does give it up and over one, but K there to receive. We'll try and keep it in an aggressive position, but Bishop immediately on that one off the roof, and K receives it on the backboard. Both these teams are having trouble finding a way to break through. In a lot of these plays, they're kind of just back and forth until someone makes a mistake, and it does look like YouTube Shorts FC has been the team to capitalize on that more often than not. So we can now hit the 3-minute mark. 2 goals are the only thing that have been scored, and Bishop sends this one downfield. Beastie tries to keep it out of his net successfully. Okay, in the corner to Alex. Alex downfield. See if Bishop can do anything useful with this. He does. He gets it out towards K. K with the pass play. He does get the flip reset. Not really anything useful with the flip reset, however. Just gets one to go, and Alex has Nitro in a very awkward position on that back wall, just muscling it through to secure their third goal.
And Nitro has to position high up on the back wall there because he's worried about that redirect potential from Restaurant. If he's on the ground, Restaurant probably redirects that towards the top of the net. So he positions high, expecting it, or at least knowing that it's a possibility. I think he knew that the pass was going to happen as well. He kind of, I think, had the idea that it was going to be a one-on-one with Alex, but being high on the wall means he can't really win the 50-50. But they do got to go back right off kickoff here. It's K who finds the play out to Bishop, who just gets enough on it. He got pumped into it by his own teammate. But Div 1, I mean, they haven't had a lot of success this game, so that's something that they can at least cheer about as they're halfway through. They're going to need a huge rally late in this game if they are to take this game and take match point, or if YouTube Shorts are going to become the dominant, or going to be the dominant team in the series going into Game 4, where I think you and I would both agree they're favored.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that this Div 1 roster has been an underdog team, but they've managed to take a game so far in the 2v2s. In this 3v3, they've had some success, but Alex really just isn't letting them have any room on their side of the field. This is now a hat trick for Alex off the pass from Beastie there, just shoving it directly in the corner. It's not pretty, but it works.
If it works, I think they'll be more than happy to take it here. YouTube Shorts, our team that's just, again, controlling this game. Game 1 was close. Game 3 has not been here, and it feels so similar to the match we saw earlier with Div 1 when they took on Dead End, where it was close at the beginning, but as the series progressed, you just saw Div 1 excel at what they do. Let their skill make the difference here. It was so similar, except this time it's Div 1 on the receiving end. YouTube Shorts. At this point, now I think just looking to play not a passive game, but a smart game. They don't need to play as aggressively anymore. As long as they make smart plays, smart saves, smart positions, they will be the team that will qualify through the upper bracket. We expected YouTube Shorts to qualify through the upper bracket, as that nearly went in for 5-1. We expected them to qualify through the upper bracket. They're kind of proving to you why they are such a good team. They haven't had a tough match until this one, but again, even with this match being a tough match for them, they still just are in control. They clearly don't look like they're phased at all.
I will say YouTube Shorts FC on a couple of occasions has made some mistakes, but they're so minuscule and so minor that there's not a lot of room for Div 1 to go ahead and capitalize on those. So, you know, it's a small window of opportunity, and you have to be good enough at this level to capitalize on that. And that's something that Div 1 here in this 3v3 has had such a struggle with doing. I mean, in the 2v2, those minuscule things without a third person are immediately much more apparent. And the window of opportunity then immediately opens up quite a bit more. So we're seeing it in the 3v3s that window of opportunity has closed quite a bit. And we are seeing the effects of it on Div 1 here as they're struggling to put things together. Beastie with an almost amazing shot. I did not expect that angle to come out of him. But they're putting on a Herculean effort to keep this scoreline in their favor here. 4-1 is all that they needed to get this done. So they're willing to keep it at that scoreline. 0 seconds now on the clock. We'll see if ball falls anytime soon. Looks like it will now, and YouTube Shorts FC will be taking Game 3 here as we head into a 1v1 between Beastie and Nitro.
Yeah, I'm gonna love this 1v1, but for Div 1, this is a tough position for them because I think they really put everything in to win the 2v2 mode. Now they have to play the 1v1 mode. This is the mode they're less comfortable in, and I think it makes sense. Nitro's not a bad player. He's a solid player, but I don't know how good his ones is compared to Beastie, and of course, we'll find out soon enough how good it is. I think both these teams, though, did put in their stronger teams for 2s than in 1s, so this is gonna be interesting. See, I think players that maybe these players play, but you do favor YouTube Shorts in the 1v1. You do favor Beastie in a match like this. You do favor his chances to win this match. I think for, Div 1 being less favored, they really did put everything into the 2v2, so we'll see. They're going to need quite a miraculous game here to stay in this series, but This tournament is one for the miraculous at times. We'll be going into our game 4, and if Nitro can play well, if he can stand up to Beastie's pressure to YouTube Shorts, he can give his team a chance to take this series, go all the way to Game 5. We haven't seen a Game 5 yet today. Game 5s aren't very common in this format, but I'd love to see one here, and if Div 1 can do it, well, you cannot, well, I wouldn't favor them to win the Game 5, but they at least give themselves momentum to work with here, so I want to see if Nitro has it in him here, if Div 1 have it in them to keep this series going and to not give up.
Well, as that 5-minute counter has already started, it graces our screen once again. The 1v1 is off and to the races. BC immediately shutting down Nitro as he tries to find some sort of, gap in the armor. But Beastie, again, a very consistent mechanical player. He's not, the most flashy person, but his mechanics suit his playstyle very, very well, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Now we'll see him to go to his own corner, maybe looking for a fake a little bit, maybe. Oh, wow, I thought he was going to go for an air dribble. Nope, now he does. Gets the flip reset and the musty and launches that one. My goodness, the respect these players are showing. You'd think this is a freestyle 1v1 here.
Yeah, that's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting from Beastie. He hasn't really had a lot of looks at the net. He's just kind of been waiting on his own half for something to be made. And he said it, he looks very calm. That's one of the things I noticed from his card. He looks so calm, even on his own half of the field. He doesn't look nervous. It feels like this is normal for Beastie, and now he pops in a second one. Well, that calmness, that ability to handle the stress here, really working well for him. Nitro may have kept him on his toes early on, but when it came down to scoring goals, Beastie's got 2, Nitro still has 0. Up to the sidewall. Nitro again. Looking to get his first of the game. Dribble. Reset. It's beautiful! Well, there was not much Beastie could do about that one. It was just a perfectly placed dribble. Nitro forcing Beastie to choose when he wants to go for the 50-50. No matter where Beastie goes, he's in a position where he probably isn't going to win it outright. Such a tough position to be in, but perfectly played by Nitro. And again, as I mentioned, the flip reset. The impossible shot, if done correctly here. Nitro brings in such a clean-looking play that there's really not many options that Beastie had except lose the 50-50 at best.
Yeah, this is an interesting position to be in now if you're on the side of Nitro. Nitro now just trying to battle it back and maybe play a little bit more scrappy in his options. CC is going for 50s here. He does get one towards the other side of the field. He's just trying to beat him around there, but Beastie dies for it. Does get a beautiful turn on the ball, but dies for it, and now Nitro has control on the top of his car. He goes for the flick over, does get the bump, and we'll see another one for himself. This is an absolute battle back and forth here.
Yeah, it is. The air dribble bump. We haven't seen any of those yet until now. I'm surprised we haven't seen them so far today, but an air dribble bump, the new undefendable shot.
I was gonna say it's kind of like in Rocket League society. I feel like it's just frowned upon. Like if you're going for that.
When there's $600 on the line, I don't think anything's frowned upon.
No, that's 100% fair.
Well,
that's
except
100%
cheating.
Fair. Well, we'll see if Beastie here gets a pinch. He does, but Nitro immediately capitalizes and tries to send it down the other way. Low boost, but he's gonna try and stay on it, stay close here. Doesn't want to allow Beastie any space to flick over him like he just did. And now that'll be a very easy way to confirm that one.
Yeah, what a showing. What a time for Beastie to show us his ground game. And you can tell Beastie, any chance he gets, he is not going to play in the air. He doesn't want to play an aerial-based battle here against Nitro. I think he's fine with playing an aerial-based game, but you can tell his comfort is on the ground. And at the highest rank level in 1v1s, and I remember talking, with some other players yesterday that are playing in this tournament, as well. I don't know how they're doing, but I remember talking with some other players yesterday who were playing on various different teams in this tournament, how they mentioned that at the highest level in 1v1s, you typically see players play one of 2 modes. Either they play in the air, or they play in the ground, and they're going to be more comfortable with one or the other here. Defensively, you got to be good at defending both, but offensively, you can choose one to be good at. And, it depends on the 1v1 players. Some players like the air, some players like the ground. You can tell Nitro likes the air. If he gets a chance to go in the air, he's going to go in the air. Beastie, though, is going to do everything he can to not let it be that way. Any chance he gets, he's often trying to dribble, trying to flick, or he's going for a ground-based, a short ground-based dribble. He's not going to keep himself in the air for long, but it comes down to consistency overall, and Beastie right now catching Nitro with his consistency. It's just a level different right now, and Beastie's starting to create some separation.
He's so punishing. We've seen him definitely take to the air a couple of different occasions here for a couple of these different goals. And he feels very comfortable doing so, but it's only in a position where he knows that Nitro probably doesn't have a whole lot of boost, or he's just getting back, and so when he turns around, he'll have to jump immediately for it and be a little bit awkward. He really does it in positions where he knows he's going to have a clear advantage, and that's the smart play that we were talking about. Like, it's very intentional. Everything that Beast Mode has gone for so far.
Beast Mode, excuse me.
Beastie
That's
Mode.
a very different player, my goodness.
Yeah, very different player. Usually
I'd be happy
by
if
Daniel in these.
I'd be happy if Beast Mode was playing this, but I think he's currently in France.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He took his vacation from
see
France to play in this tournament afterwards. No, he's not here.
Yeah, he's actually got the laptop cracked out on the beach in France, in Normandy or something like that. Now Nitro, though, battling back. He's now got a 2-goal margin. 1 minute and 35 seconds is left in the match, and that's definitely enough time to secure 2 goals.
It is. It's easily enough time. I mean, 95 seconds, anything can happen in that amount of time, and that's why Nitro's still in this thing. Now, players are allowed to forfeit games. We haven't actually seen anyone do it so far. Players are allowed to forfeit games, but obviously Nitro's not going to do it here when this game is so close. He might have just made a 4. He has. It's open for him. And now he's only 1 goal away, and it's close here. Nitro is putting up quite the effort to stay right there with Beastie. And again, I'd favor Beastie in this matchup, but Nitro's really impressing me. He has kept things close. He himself is now starting to shift to a ground-based game. He clearly, I think he's recognizing that he doesn't win the air game against Beastie, so he's playing grounded as well. And you're seeing the dribbles, the flicks. They're working for him. He needs to make a comeback, but it's possible. And you know what? It's happened here. It's open, and it's tied. Nitro has found a way back.
Yeah, it's something that I was going to mention about that air-based style of play is that it's really only valid when you have a significant aerial advantage over somebody. I said it earlier when Beastie was, making his choice and whether or not he wanted to go for the air-based play. But in a matchup like this where you're, going against Nitro, who's turning around and immediately switching his style of play, to this other the more ground-based style, you see him winning kickoffs, you see him winning 50s, you see him winning all of these things that were previously haunting him this entire past game.
Yeah, you mentioned the kickoff, the big difference here. This is now a third straight kickoff won by Nitro. Beastie, if he has to win this game, he might need to start switching up his kickoff a little bit more here. He's now lost 3 in a row to Nitro playing the exact same kickoff, just beating him there. Now a flick up high. Beastie, oh, he got bumped. He should be the first one to it. It's right in front of his net. He's got to win this 50-50, and Nitro, unwisely, going for the challenge. Got a bit greedy there, and here goes Beastie on his chance. He's got all the time to work with. Up he goes. This is an air dribble bump right here. He missed it, though. Nitro, oh, he missed it himself. Big save on the goal line. I thought Nitro just gave it away there, missing it off the back wall. Now he's misflipped. Beastie's going to win this challenge. 30 seconds and counting. Beastie doesn't get the boost. Nitro again. We'll see what his plan is. Up he goes. Beastie on the early challenge. Desperate for a save. Nitro's gonna make it 2 goals ahead.
Man, Beastie's panicking a little bit. You see him just jump immediately for that, and I'm not sure why he jumped for that. He had all the time in the world to let Nitro come to him and maybe play for a bit of a 50 towards the other net, and he just didn't. He jumped and threw himself at that one, which immediately gave Nitro a great 50 towards the net, and he's going to secure another one here off the kickoff. Beastie, unfortunately, it looks like maybe tilting a little bit and not allowing himself any sort of chance to get back into it.
Well, it's a desperation type game for Div 1. And with these 18 seconds to go, it's likely Game 5, Champions Failed. We will go for this matchup here. YouTube Shorts FC have not been able to create adequate separation. And a delayed kickoff from Beastie will go nowhere. Nitro.
Yeah, he did try. I'll give him credit. He switched up the kickoff. He did try, but Nitro, he's got a phone book, like the old Yellow Pages, and he knew exactly where his number was.
Yeah, he did. And now we got Game 5 here, the 3v3 mode to end this matchup. YouTube Shorts dominated in the 3v3 mode back in Game 3. You worry for Div 1's chances in that, but Nitro has given them the opportunity. You can't fault Nitro for this performance. A double flip reset. My goodness, what a beautiful shot. We've got Game 5 up next here. YouTube Shorts.
Everyone thought
have won them
Beastie
so far. Sorry, what were you saying?
Everyone thought Beastie was going to easily take this, and Nitro turns around, repping for Div 1 immediately. just says, no, I'm not going to conform to the narrative. I'm not going to conform to what you guys think in the standings and the seating and whatnot. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to play my best game. I'm going to score 1,500 points over 9 goals. And I'm going to take it over Beastie, a 2025 contender for RLCS.
Well, we're not too far away here from Game 5. It's Champions Field for the first time today. Feels weird to say that it's Champions Field for the first time today, because this game mode is one where you typically don't see matches go the distance, but this one has. Nitro has booked his team a spot. As he did, you said it, just kind of tilted Beastie by the end of it. It's 3v3 now, and the thing about 3v3 is, well, it has been favored for YouTube Shorts. It's the only game out they've won this series. Div 1 have given themselves this chance, and who knows, and as I said, anything can happen. Qualification on the line, by the way. Winner of this guarantees a spot in the top 16. The loser must win their last match in the lower brackets, so a lot to play for here. You win, your night's over, we'll be seeing you tomorrow. You lose, and there's a good chance we may not see you again. Early goal for Nitro. That 1v1 game has boosted his morale, and he's still not done.
What an interesting play from them. K goes for the pass and still just soars through the air like a heat-seeking missile, going for the bump and securing his team a very nice and easy shot. Nitro coming through for the finishing touch on that. Chef's kiss. Mwah. 4 minutes and 40 seconds now on the clock. We'll see exactly what that has in store for us. K now trying to put that towards the back wall, and he does get the second touch on it. But it forces YouTube Shorts to go ahead and immediately jump on that one. Don't want to let any chances go past where they could possibly shut this down and take it right here, right now. Resh doesn't have much of a play, but Bishop missing that does give him a lot more to work with. And now K gets it up to his own backboard and gets the second touch. Bishop there on the back line for redemption and looks for the breakaway goal. He gets it. 2-0 is going to be the scoreline. They're battling back in Div 1 against all the odds now. Is looking like the better team.
Well, it's an overcommit for YouTube Shorts. Rare do you see a team at their rank level overcommit and misplay the rotations. Maybe it's the desperation they have. Maybe it's the mindset that they're coming in with. They now need some goals as this game continues. It's Beastie. It's K who'll wait. Jumping in is Alex. YouTube Shorts have not been able to go for those double taps that won them Games 1 and 3, and that was what they were really good at in those first couple games. Those double taps, attacking the back wall of Div 1. Like, we haven't seen that yet from them here. They just need to find a little bit of room, maybe, to make things work. As Alex, full tank to work, dribbled it away. Oh, Eshram got the bump as well. He's got an option midfield. It's Beastie waiting. Surely it's in. Oh, he went high. He knew K was waiting. I don't think he realized how awkward it was for K. Div 1 still back, very low on boost right now. K again. Resh to Beastie. Surely off the post again. Nitro stands tall. And if you thought he was done in the 1v1, he still has more to give. Another save. This one from Bishop. YouTube Shorts all in the offense, all in the faces of Div 1. And still, big saves from Nitro, big saves from Bishop, and Div 1 stay in it.
I mean, they're just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks here. YouTube Shorts FC, I'm pretty sure it's the mental game for them. Losing those 2 matches here that are the only things other than 3v3 can't feel good. I mean, not being a team that can perform in those kinds of matches, it's got to take a toll on your mental, and I think we're seeing it here. 2 goals is not insurmountable, but if they keep playing like this and don't lock in a little bit, I think they'll have to kind of take a mental reset if they want anything to go in here, because those kinds of shots, just lobbing them down the field, is not going to work.
Half the game to play. Reshiram, he's got open room. It's a great looking fake. It's 2-on-2. Beast mode. Oh, it's Beastie mode. It's 1 goal, and it is a big, big opening. Reshiram forced them to jump, and I love this move from Beastie. He plays the 50-50. He lets his teammates push up for the bumps. It was everyone upfield for YouTube Shorts. If they don't get a good play there, that's a goal against them. But they don't have to worry about that. They're 1 goal away from tying it.
This is the creativity that I was just talking about them needing. I mean, right before they scored that, we're talking about how those lob shots are just not going to be the things that are going to go in here. And immediately they switch up to something a little bit more creative, getting all their players involved there. Beautifully done from YouTube Shorts FC. Beastie mode now to the center for Reshiram. And that's going to be a slot for Alex off the pass to the backboard. Nobody was expecting it, but now they're all tied up 2-2.
Well, it's one of those double commits for Div 1 where you feel like it's a necessary one. Both players waiting. They know where the pass is going. And I think they both thought they knew the other was on low boost, so they both decided to go for it. But it's YouTube Shorts squeezing in from all sides. Now one away from taking the lead, and they've been the better team in the last minute of gameplay. The far better team. Div 1 needs something. They need somebody to step up for them here. You already have seen Nitro do his stuff. K now trying to get himself on the board. He's been an offensive mind at times. Clear it away. Nitro unable to win it. With only 90 seconds to play at this point, YouTube Shorts could be one goal away from securing their spot to the top 16. Clear to the back wall. Beastie. Up for K. It's down for Nitro! And it's saved away by Resh. It's up again. Bishop. Oh, he flicked it in! What a strike from Bishop! The Canadian with a surprise shot from the sidewall, and YouTube Shorts never, ever saw it coming.
My goodness, Bishop. At the very moment that I was about to start talking about how I'd like to see Bishop get a little bit more into the play and getting involved, he plants himself in the corner, waits for the bounce off the wall, and somehow redirects that directly into the net. Alex responding in kind with a ferocious shot. Rush mode sends that to the midfield. Beastie sends it back, and Alex to finish. Been one of the great thirds that we've seen for this team, and working out quite well for them here.
Everybody on YouTube Shorts has lost one of either 2v2 or 1v1 in this series. This is the mode that they've been their best at. This is the mode you feel like they're favored. Restaurant will be played to Alex. It is kept up for the YouTube Shorts. A minute to play in Game 5. Shot on target. A huge block for K, and he's got the boost as well. It would have been a clear had he got the ball with that play, but he'll just dribble it out instead from here. Taking the challenge from Beastie. No one challenging Div 1. Oh, waiting! That's a huge mistake! Alex, the Romanian, he's got a hat trick on Champions Field.
Man, this is the best we've seen Div 1 so far, and if they really start falling apart here, it's going to be a real hard and long road for them in the lower bracket. Just a reminder that it is not the end of the line for them. However, it is definitely the end of the line for them in the upper bracket if they don't do anything about it here. Right here, right now, 39 seconds left in in regulation play, unless they find some sort of solution for overtime. Nitro going up for it now, immediately punished by Resh, and now Alex taking it down the other way. Bishop tries to get involved there. He does get the touch and makes it awkward, but K trying to save him out, doesn't get the best touch in the world. Resh mode again, sending it to Beastie in the midfield. Beastie unable to follow it up though. Now Bishop to K. K looking for the counterattack opportunity, and this is the last one they'll get. 8 seconds now on the clock. We'll have to see if it fades away or if they'll be able to embrace greatness here and keep their chances in the upper bracket. 1 second now, and the ball hits the ground. YouTube Shorts will secure their pathway to top 16.
Well, they were the better 3v3 team, and sometimes that's all you need in a mode like this. When you have more 3v3s than any other game mode combined, you just take the wins you can. You want to be the better 3v3 team. They definitely proved it here. It was not the convincing mode I think they wanted. But at this point for YouTube Shorts, you said it, they booked their spot to tomorrow, the top 16 through the upper bracket. But Div 1, they gave it their all. They did not back down on this challenge. And while it was close, it was a brutal battle. It was very well performed from them. And I was very happy to see what we got to see from them here. But man, what a night it has been so far. Going through the upper bracket so far here. As well. I guess we should say we're not too surprised that YouTube Shorts got it through, but I like Div 1's chances. With what they showed in the last series, going to the lower bracket, they must be confident that they can win against anyone.
Well, I mean, and if you're Div 1 here, I mean, you're not going home with your tail tucked between your legs at this point. You're just going down to the lower bracket. And as much as we talk badly about the lower bracket, it's a rough run. But you still have a chance. You know, if you're looking at this right now, Div 1's going to be going down to the lower bracket, and it looks like they will be... Where are they going on against? Did not refresh my bracket here recently, so I'm going to double check.
Either KG Kinetic or the Goonius.
Goonius, gotcha. So we'll be double checking on them, I believe, in the lower bracket here, as we have followed YouTube Shorts FC all the way to the end of the day 1 bracket. They'll be making their way to the top 16 in Swiss stages tomorrow. But we do have more Rocket League going on for you guys, so don't go too far. We'll have Div 1 back on your screens in the lower bracket just a little bit.
Yeah, they will be back in just a little bit. You know, we're not going to go to break right now because we have time. I know you.
We do have time. We do have
Well, let's
time.
talk about the upper bracket. It's still ongoing. It's still playing. We're still waiting here. Let's talk about the upper bracket as things go. I'm looking to see if we can refresh this bracket in just a little bit, but with what we have seen, hopefully it shows up. Oh no. Bracket?
Looks like G7 Thriller are going to be making it through.
The bracket's not showing up. Oh no. Where on earth? Oh no, my bracket.
No, the bracket broke.
The bracket's gone.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no. It's broken. One moment. Let me see if this fixes it. We might need to transition. I think I know what the issue is. I reset it, and we need to transition back. One moment. Let's see if this fixes it.
Technical difficulty.
It's broken. Oh no.
We figured out. Oh no.
Oh no, our bracket's gone. One moment.
Maybe we will take a little break.
You know what? You know what? I think that's a fair decision. We're gonna take a little break.
We'll come back in a little bit. We'll talk
discuss
a little bit
of the upper
about...
brackets. I think, but yeah, you're right. Our bracket's broken. We'll be back very soon, as well. Here, I know you were talking about the the G7 fillers. We'll talk about them in like maybe a few moments as we get the bracket fixed up. So we'll take a break. Xan, I'll let you have the duty since you're already wanting to do the outro.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. We'll be back to talk about that upper bracket just a little bit. Get that bracket updated and all ready to go for you guys. Grab your snacks, grab your popcorn, grab a bathroom break. We'll be right back to discuss some more Rocket League, and we'll have some more lower bracket action for you. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the Paradise Cup 5. We've got our qualification rounds continuing its losers round 5 here. Div 1 take on Goonius. Goonius roster with Memory Lane, Stills, Kaku, and Zenreal. So they are looking to make their spot in. It's been an incredible run so far for Goonius. They're not they're a team I don't think we expected to make this kind of run, and yet here they are, Goonius tournaments. But, well, qualification on the line here as well. I mean, it's a best of 5. It's qualification that they're playing for here, and these teams, they're antsy. They actually want to join early here, but they want to join soon. So as we get into this matchup, if you're, I mean, we've seen a lot of already of this, of the favorites in this matchup, that being Div 1. What's the game plan coming into this game? What would you tell them as we're going to go?
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen a lot of Div 1 already, they've been very, very, eager to be aggressive and be very, I don't know what's the word, prompt on their rotations. Not exactly cutting each other off, but at least following up very closely behind one another, making sure that they're in a good position to follow up one another. And so it's gonna be very difficult for this team Goonius to sort of maybe go against this Titan. I guess if that's probably the proper word here.
If I was the coach of Div 1, if I was like helping them in any way, which I don't think they have a coach, but if I was connected to Div 1 in anything, I would say one thing, and that is, do it again. What you did against YouTube Shorts FC should work here against Goonius. They looked really good. It was an unfortunate game. They kept things close. They couldn't win the free review mode, but the way that they played was solid, and they're going to be the favorites in this matchup. Goonius are the number 31 seed in this tournament, so Div 1, heavy favorites here to get through to the top 16. Goonius, obviously, the situation's a little bit difficult for them. They've had to play quite the lower bracket to just get to this point. But again, if I'm talking to Div 1, I'm saying, hey, what you did against YouTube Shorts should work here. You're the better team by seeding. You're the better team by rank. This is a Goonius team that is rank B, so Div 1 have the advantage here. They should be able to use that advantage, and in a matchup where they're going to get more room, they're going to be a more successful team. So, as you can already see, a lot more room for them to breathe, and while they haven't exactly done anything to test Goonius all that much just yet, they've had to wait a little bit before this matchup. Of course, there's a lot that they can still play in, and of course, there's a lot of rounds still happening. Of course, we're looking at the rest of our bracket. We were talking about how we're going to talk about the rest of our bracket. We'll talk about it after this series for all of you watching, but as we kind of count down the top 16 teams that will be progressing into day 2. But already, I'm not going to say anything just yet, but there's been some interesting results, some interesting teams that have qualified, and some interesting teams playing in the lower bracket right now. A lot of our casters are closing in on losers round 5, so as teams qualify, as teams get through, we'll obviously recap that afterwards. But Xan, so far Div 1, the team in control, but they haven't really done anything to be that creative team that we've known that they can be. We haven't seen them really unleash those mechanics, unleash what makes this team kind of fun to watch, honestly.
No, you saw them have a really great first matchup in Dead End versus Div 1, and Div 1 came out on top of that. They Dead End did give them a little bit of trouble early on in the bracket. They took that what was it, the 1v1 matchup, I believe, the second match there, and so the 1v1 is the one spot that we haven't seen them look super I don't know, comfortable, I guess. But then coming back into the YouTube Shorts FC game, they looked great in the 1v1. They swapped K out for my goodness, who they played? Not Bishop, Nitro. Yeah, they put K in. They swapped out K for Nitro, and immediately that one change felt like it was a much more even series as a whole. And now this team that we haven't even started talking about particularly in Goonius is the one to draw first blood here off a beautiful shot from Kaku.
It just feels like a very lackluster game here from Div 1. It feels like they're sort of just going through the motions. You're not seeing them really. I don't know if they're tired. I hope they're not tired. They've only been here for a few hours, but they need to find that creativity. That's exactly what they need. It's a little creativity, a little bit of mechanics, a little bit more of what we know them to be. And Nitro, I would have called the difference maker in the last series. The reason that it was so close for most of it, especially in Game 5, he is able to set up an easy play for Bishop, and Div 1 have already evened the game up at 1 goal each, but they're going to need more of that. This game so far hasn't looked great from Div 1. We need to see a little bit more of a drive, a little bit more energy, and it just feels like it's a game where they're kind of tired. The last matchup took its toll on them, and I think they're feeling it.
Yeah, I definitely would be feeling it if I were in their position, but they got to muster up something here as this is their one ticket to day 2 here, and they're tied up here 1-1. Both teams have had some offensive looks. Both teams have had some defensive blunders here, which is the resulting 1-1 scoreline here. Nitro now up in the air with STL challenging Kaku. Shot on nut, but K immediately responding in kind, sending that one back down. Bishop trying to keep control over that, but has to get help out from Nitro. Now, it's going to be Bishop on the ceiling with 0 boost, down to K. No, just kidding. I think he got the second touch there. I don't think anyone was really expecting that one particularly. Now Nitro back up for it. Does get the flip reset, but it's not particularly useful. Now Memory, we'll see if he can do something here. Has had a little bit of a quiet game here. And Kaku following up, but K from the heavens comes from the skies to inch that one out of his own net. Wow. Talk about a good one, Sporty.
Yeah, it was a great save, but in a match like this, it's Goonius right now who are taking the initiative in this 3v3 mode. Will be Stills, the only player I've actually seen before, and Stills a frequent attendee in a lot of weekly tournaments. Himself part of this B-ranked team. We're really bringing it to Div 1, infield pass, K to clear it away. Goonius will wait, as it is Kaku. Gets the bump on Nitro. Now Memory. To Kaku. Stills is there! Double commit for Div 1 to keep it out. Another huge block, but again, it's Goonius still being the ones to make things happen. They look more threatening. They're the team that wants it more right now. They're still attacking. They're still asking all the questions, and Div 1 have yet to really bring much offensively. Their only goal up the kickoff. Here goes Nitro. Goonius in a tough position to handle it, but it's right to Kaku. Memory is there. It's cleared away. A poor touch for Kaku. Memory will ground it. And Goonius send Div 1 to overtime. This is a huge game for Goonius. You can set the initiative early. Being the team that's definitely the underdogs in this matchup, you can win this. You're in prime position, but they won't be able to do so. 5 seconds in, it's Bishop who take game 1.
You know, Bishop's had been having a little bit of a quiet couple of series here, now popping out and confirming the game in his favor in a very clutch situation. We were talking about just setting that tone, and now Div 1 has set a very demanding tone to see if Goonius can come back to it. Goonius has been a team that's had to make their run through the lower bracket for quite a bit of this so far, and now looks like they're going to be choosing the 2s game mode. We haven't seen much from them, so we don't know exactly if they've been doing a lot of 2s or 1s first, or if this is part of their strategy or not. But we're going to see how it works out for them here against Div 1, who, if record serves me, I believe they did have a much better 2s game than YouTube Shorts FC there.
Goonius have had to go the full gauntlet at this point so far tonight. Their first match was a loss to 7 in Friends, who are still in the lower bracket, by the way, trying to compete for their spot. And they had to make the lower bracket run all the way from losers round 1. So they've had a long day here for Goonius. They look like the more on-point team. They look like the team that's got more energy. They beat Version 2, then the Pepetors, then they beat Simplified Teal, then it was KSG Kinetic. So for Goonius, even though they're the team that's had to play a lot more matches, had to play a lot more games, maybe not necessarily a lot more games, 2 of their matches were forfeits, but a team that's had to play a lot of matches themselves, a lot more rounds, they look like the more energetic team. They did choose 2v2 for game 2, so Wazoo is in. It's going to be K and Bishop on Div 1, looking to see if they can get a second win against Goonius, who are playing Memory and Kaku. But for Goonius, game 1, if it does anything, it should give them hope that this series is well within their capabilities.
Now, something to highlight here, K and Bishop is that team exactly that we saw go up against the YouTube FC squad, and they did win that matchup. So it is going to be very interesting to see here if that duo's team in Bishop and K can really put it to Kaku and Memory here. We haven't had a chance to see Memory and Kaku play together, but from the last match, they did have some pretty decent chemistry, but it might not be all that matters here as Bishop muscles one right around Memory, and Memory just had no chance there.
Yeah, he put himself in a bad spot, a little too high up, and he said it. He just got out-pushed by Div 1, who would be more than happy to just keep things rolling as they are. For Goonius, again, this is their game mode. This is the mode that they feel the most comfortable in between this and 1v1. I don't blame them either, seeing what we saw from Nitro earlier. I don't blame them of what we saw from Nitro. So for Goonius, I think this was the only logical choice for them, but That also does mean they're putting them a lot of pressure on that 3v3 mode. 'Cause again, one's just going to be so tough for them here. This is a mode that they feel like they need to win. K's not going to let him have any chance at it, though. It's 2-0 here, and again, Memory, the poor soul that gets out-pushed in the muscles. He might need to go to the weight gym here, because clearly K and Bishop have. And it's 2-0 for Div 1, and unfortunately for Memory, both times, it's him who has just been out-pushed, out-forced for the goal against.
I will say Kaku managed to get there. He was almost to that bench, and maybe a few more, microseconds or whatever, you would have had that, and or milliseconds. That's the word, not microseconds. Microseconds are a thing, right?
Microseconds is a real thing. It's, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
I want to say 1,000 microseconds in a millisecond.
Yeah. I think it's like it's 1,000th of a second or something like that. Yeah.
Well, it's not.
Now
A millisecond is
Bishop.
1,000. A microsecond is
Link.
1,000th of a millisecond. Sorry.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. My bad. Yep. The whole.
I believe it's a millionth of a second.
Man, the metric system never made sense to me as an American, but this game is making sense to the duo of K and Bishop. The tune of 3 goals here.
I walked away so far. I took my phone with me and it fell off the table here. That's the time of night we're at right now. Everything's falling over. Everything's failing. We're talking about microseconds and the metric system, but it's Div 1 right now who we should be talking about. It's 4-0 for them. Oh my. Well, I can't even say it was a bad choice for Goonius. I don't know how the 1v1's gonna go, but this is about as bad as things can go for you in a mode that you chose.
That was like taking candy from a baby. K was totally backwards there. Somehow managed to catch it with the back of his car in a little jump, and recovered perfectly. Then takes it around the other one and scores it. You know, it's just, it feels a little rude. You know. Now K up for another one. We'll see if he's got more bad manners in his pocket. No, he'll just be opting for the pass instead to Bishop. And Bishop will be the one to bury that one in the back of the net. And now, with 5 goals scored, completely unanswered in the first couple minutes of play, Sporty, I'm not sure how well this is going to go in the rest of those 3 minutes.
No, I don't know either. It feels like a mode that's not going to favor... this feels like a game that's not going to favor Goonius at any points here. The nice thing is, the only good thing about this is that Div 1 have now scored 6 goals in the first, 2 minutes of gameplay. So, in theory, Goonius could score 6 goals in the last 3 minutes. But let's be realistic. Div 1 running away with things here. Goonius had to make the choice. I think they would have rather the choice be 3v3, but obviously you don't get that option. And now, they're in a position where it's almost certainly going to be a match win against them here. They got to go back into the mode they just lost, and there's 1v1 that they got to win. And the 1v1 mode, they aren't even that confident in, and I don't blame them. I'm not confident in it either if I was Goonius. So, in a matchup with qualification on the line, with the kind of players that we're getting to see right here, Div 1 just in full control. I mean, we saw them win this mode earlier, and against Goonius, they're just taking over at 7-0 now. Memory's given up at this point, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see the... yeah, there's the white flag. I was going to say, I think we're going to get the white flag here. It's fine, it looked a little silly as well, but the white flag has been given. Goonius won it over, and for the first time tonight, we've actually seen a forfeit. I'm surprised we haven't seen more forfeits here. You know, tonight. This is our first one. We saw the call from them, so this is a first for tonight.
I don't want to go too far, but KVox has redeemed a drink break and a posture check.
Well, thank you for the posture. I don't actually have a drink with me. That's the one thing I forgot to bring with me tonight. I'll get it afterwards, don't worry. We've got a lot of time afterwards. If you can carry the stream after this match is over, I'll go get some water or something.
Absolutely, I will. Now we're going to go ahead and take
this is what I do for all of you viewers out there watching.
Yeah. He's, there's no rest for the wicked, and unfortunately, we are the wicked ones. Now we're moving on to another 3v3, though. And this is going to be a wicked one for Goonius, because they didn't perform terribly well in the 3v3 the first time around. They did take it to an overtime. They lost it. Now they picked the mode that they're very comfortable with, the 2v2s. That was a 7-0 slaughter. So now we're going to be moving into a 3v3, and all eyes are on Goonius. See exactly what they can pull off here, what miracles they can make happen.
Game 3 for Div 1 may be a very quick advancement to the top 16. It's the lower bracket. Reminder, the loser of this, we haven't even mentioned, is out of the tournament. You don't get to play here tomorrow if you lose this match. So for Goonius, it's their tournament lives on the line. For Div 1, their tournament lives on the line, but match point and a spot in the top 16. And the nice thing about the top 16 is even if you lose this, everybody starts in the same place. You're not in a worse position than anyone else. Everybody starts in the same spot in the Swiss bracket. So that's the only silver lining for Div 1 if they can win. That's the big silver lining if Div 1 can win this. They reset the position. Obviously, they'll have worse seeding, but at this point, qualification to the top 16 is all they're thinking about right now. Goonius, at this point, just thinking about survival, and also thinking about the 1v1 mode, because it's got to be, was it Kaku that's got to play in that one?
Yep,
against Nitro, that's going to be a rough matchup, but at this point, if Goonius just get a win in this mode, you won't even get the chance in 1v1 if you don't win here.
Well, now something that we should mention for all the people who are just joining us at home, $600 is on the line tonight. Over the course of the next couple of days, we'll see exactly who's going to be walking home with that one and who's going to be going home with absolutely nothing. The rain will be pouring on that day, for sure. Now now Memory sends one down deep, but K responding in kind with the ping pong. It's going to hit it into the corner with a nice controlled touch, but Bishop unable to get to that one. Now Stills downfield on no boost, and Nitro beats his own teammate to it, gets it to Bishop in the back corner, but fortunately not able to follow that one up. And not a lot of like insanely dangerous plays coming out from Goonius, but I will say it does seem like they've somewhat held this this Div 1 roster to 0 goals here. 2 minutes now into the regulation time. See if any overtime will be triggered, but again, that one was a pretty close and quick overtime the last time we saw an overtime here.
Yeah, the nice thing about Goonius is that in this mode, they've been able to win the midfield. They've been able to win the 50-50s, so they get more chances! Oh, and just like game 1, they're going to capitalize on it early, too. It's Kaku. It's a goal already, and I love this touch from Stills. I mean, he just leaves it for Kaku. Goonius can score from there pretty easily, and Div 1, I'm surprised by how passive they've been in the 3v3 mode, but it allows Goonius this space. I think Div 1 wants to play one-on-one. I think they want to play an open room, but when you're sitting back this far, if you're not going to win the midfield, you're not going to be able to quick break, then this defensive mode is only going to give Goonius more chances to score on you.
Yeah, now with 2 minutes and 50 seconds and they're back against the wall, they do have to hold this 1-0 lead, but that's going to be hard when the demos start flying. To see one come out on their own half for the orange team. Depth of Elo Hell is going to be the man to watch right here. Bishop is well known in this community for being a very calm under pressure character. He's got some mechanics in his back pocket as you see the sidewall psycho going a little crazy. Trying to put together a little bit of a play here as they're 1-0 down, getting a little creative, which is exactly what I'd like to see from this roster. But Kaku flying from out of nowhere looks to extend this 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it is 2-0 for Goonius. They found a little bit of a foothold in this game, and just like in Game 1, Div 1 have to be the team that makes the redemption for themselves. Has to be the team that can find a way back in it. Has to be a team that finds the comeback if they want to take the series here. The nice thing is they're on match point. They don't need to win this game. Goonius do, but still if you're Div 1, considering that the 3v3 mode is the deciding mode in Game 5, and they've already had their issues with 3v3 earlier today, they don't want to have to test that 3v3 mode again against Goonius, who clearly seem to be the team that can handle 3v3 better than any other mode here. Shot on net will be easily kept away by Stills. Everybody up for Div 1 as they're looking for one. It's an easy net here. K's going to get to it in time. It was Bishop who also had the open net in front of him, and Div 1, well, you cannot doubt the comeback. They did it once before. They can do it again.
Yeah, I mean, K had the doozy there, but, sorry, Bishop had the doozy there, but K was there to confirm it, and I don't think they'll really complain as long as the ball goes in the net there. I think Bishop might have some resentment there as he pounds that one towards the back net, or the back wall, and think if he can do something with it, but Still's there. Memory with the nice little touch over. Let's see if K can keep it going, but no. Kaku getting in the middle. Flicks it up and over one, but off the backboard to Nitro, and Nitro will extend this play all the way to the other side. That's a ping off the top corner and not quite the shot he was looking for. Bishop probably feeling a little rough on that one as he needs another goal here to mount this comeback. He was so close on that first one. You know he wants it here. He's hungry. That one pinging off the crossbar, or that post again. Fortunately, other than those two first goals that we've seen from the Goonius, they haven't had a whole lot of success on the offensive side of the field other than those two. Now K trying to play for a 50, but Stills is in the middle. Memory trying to take it up and over, but Nitro getting in the way. Nitro now on full low boost, does get the demo for his troubles. It's all on Bishop, but he's on the backflip. Memory with the flip reset gets another one. Fortunately, does not get the shot that he's looking for there, Sporty.
No, he isn't. Div 1 really setting everybody up. All in! Oh, it's tied! Nitro! And Div 1 multiple times over have sent everyone upfield for a chance. It works out here with 24 ticks of the clock to go. Div 1 on what could be another comeback this series. It's all even, but it's Div 1 with the momentum.
I mean, you'd think that they're the clear favorites here, but they've had a lot of trouble here putting things together when it comes down to the offensive side of the field, and even then, you know, those shots look like they've been mostly courtesy of the other team making a mistake, and so you have to wonder here: is this going to be a fluke, or is the overtime actually going to determine the winner rightfully here? Curious to see if Goonius has what it takes to really battle back on this one. They need it. Their tournament lives are on the line, backs against the wall, and there's nowhere to look. You'd never corner an animal, because it makes them dangerous, and we'll see if Goonius is one of those dangerous animals.
To the midfield, it will be left for K, and he's got room. Fit reset, Nitro to follow. Not a very strong shot. I think he's just trying to force out Kaku, and he does well. Demo, smokescreen means Memory can't challenge. Oh, it's a bad spawn from Kaku. The ball pinged off the side of his car, but it'll leave the blue half harmlessly. But Div 1 still holding. Reminder, if they score, it's the top 16 they go, and they will score! K ends the series. It's Div 1 on a sweep, who we will be seeing tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
My goodness, 38 seconds is all they needed, and Div 1 will sign their ticket straight to day 2 in the Swiss group stages. That is a wonderful performance from Div 1. Goonius gave it their all, but unfortunately, they'll be sent packing here. As we take a look at the stats, though, it kind of tells the story. It's Memory falling a little bit behind in that 180 point mark, whereas everybody else was well over 200. And that'll probably sign their defeat there, unfortunately, as they go towards the homeward, as they get homeward bound on their train ticket, one way straight home. You know, it's not like they didn't try. It's not like they didn't try. You know, Goonius gave it their all. They gave a great effort, but you get to the last, you know, titan of this bracket, which is going to be, you know, Div 1. And Div 1 gave, you know, YouTube Shorts FC a run for their money, and YouTube Shorts FC is also in day 2. So you can't feel bad about it if you're Goonius. You just got to keep your heads up, think about what's going on next, what you guys got for the next event, and, you know, work towards that.
Did it as well. Of course, there might be more Paradise Cup events in the future. For Goonius, it was just one step away for them. I mean, that's again what they're going to be thinking about as well. But well, the thing is, we do have confirmation, and the bracket, by the way, does work now. So we actually have a bracket that is made. Thank you to Nick NCS, who will be our producer tomorrow, for also making the bracket. So let's take a look at how things have gone here. This is the upper bracket. All things confirmed are teams that have gone through from top to bottom. I know the names are a little tough to see, but we'll tell you all of them. It is G7 Thriller, City Boy JJ, NTX Esports, the Aura Bros, Prime DDOP, Desire, Son I'm Crying, and YouTube Shorts FC. Of course, we got to see YouTube Shorts FC make it all the way to the top 16 to the upper bracket. Out of all these teams here that have made it through, are there any surprises to you, Uncle Xan?
Yeah, actually, I'm a little confused about the Son I'm Crying one. If I take a look at that, I believe they were going up against Nitro Method, which was a very, I mean, that's a hard roster to go up against. That's Ocean, Chaos, and Nez. Nez and Chaos are two players that have played for I believe SPC for a while. You know, they're solidly SSL. and somehow the 15-year-old and Jax, Fast RL, and Nez sailed through that one.
I would have expected
They
them to win.
managed to
I
make
will
that one
say
through.
the big surprise to me is that Team Silence didn't show up today. That's why Son of Crying made it
That's
through.
true as well.
That
That's
Team
true as
Silence
well.
didn't show up today. If they had, they would have been favored. I do think Son of Crying is the better team in that. But we will take a look, by the way, at our lower brackets. Really, not too many surprises in the upper bracket. Lower bracket, though, a little bit of a mix-up here. We're the only ones done in the lower bracket. So Div 1's through. Out of that, who knows? We'll see who gets through. But I'm liking some of the chances of some of these matchups here as well. The matchups that are currently live is CMZ versus Kickoff Merchants. That's a really good match. That is on... That's on our Off Beast stream. That's a really good match. I like CMZ is Cat's team. Kickoff is Cat, Muff, and Zolfi. I like that team. Kickoff Merchants is Retro, Deacon, and Magnus. Like, that's a good match. That's gonna be close as well. We do get confirmation QAP is playing against G11 Esports. That is on Art and Dragon stream. That's an interesting matchup for me. That G11 and QAP playing in that one. QAP with the roster of Anno, Kuzi, and Pyrex. I like that team. G11 with Gion, Yami, Osuri, Gusanoide, and Mazo. QAP is a top 16 team, so is a top 16 seed team, so you'd expect to make them through. The big surprise for me as Avid Esports, they're still in the lower bracket, but they're playing SSB. They lost early in the upper bracket. Avid Esports, they've not had an easy day. They're the number 9 seed in this tournament, and they lost to Bunny Girl Senpai. So they have had their struggles so far. Bunny Girl Senpai obviously are playing. They're against Vet City right now on Sominomi's stream. Actually, we just got confirmation. They just beat Vet City on Sominomi's stream. And other than that, Synesthesia versus Buff Cronovi Club. That is on Mr. Cat's stream. And then Houston Sparks versus Seven and Friends on Noobkey's stream. Of course, other than that, there's a couple other people live as well waiting. Cryptic Fades is going to have closed captions versus either Dead End or 17X Team. Nightjam Method, again, is going to be on Oofin stream against either Avid Esports or SSB. And again, I think the big surprise here for me is Avid Esports. They're probably going to make it through, but the fact they lost so early to Bunny Girl Senpai tells you this Bunny Girl Senpai team means business. I mean, they've made it through against Vet City. They're clearly a good team then.
Yeah, no, we'll have to see exactly what that one entails. I'm curious because you and I got blessed with watching SSB compete yesterday against the 2/3 of Team Silence, and they put up a wonderful effort. So I'm curious to see exactly how they match up against Nitro Method. Like I said, a couple of different friends over there that I've seen play on multiple occasions. They're very, very, very good at playing this car soccer game that we all know and love. So you guys want to go check them out, that's going to be a wonderful matchup, either SSB or Avid Esports against Nitro Method. Again, a bunch of other Rocket League still going on here within the night. It's not exactly over, but it is unfortunately over for us.
It is definitely over us. You know what? It's not actually totally over us. I need to get my water since someone asked about it. While we're doing
you
that,
do have to get your
I'm
water.
going to send this to our schedule screen. If you can, while I go recap some of the matches. I'll be back with some water so that everybody in chat can have their promises fulfilled.
Absolutely. We'll be taking a look at that schedule screen as Sporty Goes gets his water. We've got today's matches. We have YouTube Shorts FC versus KiroJkaps and Bandit. That ended up in a 3-0 sweep for YouTube Shorts FC. The Rank H boys did not unfortunately pose too much of a threat to YouTube Shorts FC. They made it through their first round super easily with a 3-0 sweep. Not to dunk on KiroJkaps and Bandit. Just shows you the very different calibers in play that we have here in this tournament. Div 1 versus Dead End. Did get to watch that one. It wasn't our regularly scheduled match because unfortunately there was a DQ there, but Div 1 versus Dead End ended in a 3-1 scoreline. Dead End did manage to take a match off them, but Div 1 did manage to make it through. YouTube Shorts versus FC versus Div 1 was the next match in our winner bracket finals. They managed to edge that one out 3-2. YouTube Shorts FC in their favor. Gotta love those boys. They have had an absolutely monumental run. Made it all the way to day 2 without dropping too much. More than 3 games, I believe, 2 games. Man, impressive run for the YouTube Shorts FC, knocking Div 1 down to the lower bracket and sending them to a 3-0 sweep over Goonius.
Well, I'm back, and here, you know what? Here we got it. Here's the water. So for all of you in chat who asked for it, yeah, you did. I was like, oh, that's perfect timing.
Cheers, my friends.
That feels good. We've been here for how many hours? Like 3 hours?
I know, I know. I feel
Well,
it. I feel it.
yeah, we've been here for 3 hours, 4 matches. It's been an amazing day, though, Xan. And I guess as you look at our upper bracket again once more here between all the teams that have played in it. Um, Coming into tomorrow, there are some clear favorites here. Talk to the chat one last time before we end off the night. Talk it to me, and talk to me, and talk to chat. What teams do you have as the favorites of this tournament now after day one? Have your thoughts on who the favorites are changed in any way?
Yeah, I mean, we've still got our two S rank teams in G7 Thrillers and Prime Deep DDOP are, I believe they've made it through to day 2. Yes, they have. Just had to double check on that. Both those teams are going to be our highest ranked teams. They're S rated, which means they can, oftentimes they are found in the top 16 of RLCS, and often sometimes they'll make their way up into the top 8. So those are really going to be your most competitive teams. So two teams to keep your eyes on are your G7 Thrillers and Prime DDOP, but also NTX Esports kind of breezed through their roster a little bit. They didn't have too many teams that put up too much of a fight. So I will say probably watch out for NTX Esports. Day 2, they will have a wonderful time in the Swiss stages. And lastly, I think we'll leave it off on the YouTube Shorts FC squad. They had a wonderful run through the first day of the bracket, and I genuinely think that they're just very fun to watch.
YouTube Shorts are one of the teams. Of all the S and X ranked teams, only one didn't make it to the top 16 through uppers, and that was Team Silence, who didn't show up at all. So the top
Mhm.
teams still the top teams. I guess in a way, day one has proven nothing except that the top teams are the top teams for a reason here, or maybe that we're just really good at seeding teams. Who knows? Well,
Maybe
anyways,
we're
thank
just
you.
really good at it.
Maybe we're just really good at our jobs here. Well, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Again, big thank you to all of you who've been watching as well. Xan, you have any shoutouts? Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to comment on before we end up the night?
Yeah, make sure you guys go check out my YouTube channel and my music. If you guys want to go check it out, Uncle Xan on all platforms. Other than that, I really appreciate you guys for having me on here. The $600 cash cup for Paradise Cup 5 will be back tomorrow with Swift Stages. Don't go anywhere because it's going to be awesome, and we'll have some more Rocket League coming for you just a little bit. I believe we're going to raid out here, Sporty.
Yeah, we will be raiding out very soon. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here for day one, the qualifier. We'll have top 16 confirmed for all of you by tomorrow. We'll be live 7 p.m. Eastern Time with the Swiss bracket and the best of sevens. So we go from best of 5 to best of 7. The matches get longer, the teams get better, and the competition gets more intense. Thank you so much for joining us for day one of Paradise Cup 5. To Uncle Xan for joining us. See you all again tomorrow again at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for day 2, the top 16.
Bye, guys.